Naruto God Level System, Chapter 121-140. Chapter 121 War is over. Kumogakure seems to have retreated. Oh, the Kumogakure guys don't drag on anymore? Hyuga-chan asked curiously. Yes, Konoha compensated Kumogakure with some supplies and they retreated. Tsunade nodded. The victorious side still has to give supplies to the defeated side. It's just too weird. Hyuga-chan shook his head and said. Kumogakure's doing this is definitely a benefit, and it's not too small, otherwise it's impossible to do such a shameless thing. Hyuga-chan said affirmatively, rubbing his chin. Hyuga-chan is not wrong. Kumogakure did benefit. Iwagakure and Sunagakure gave Kumogakure a lot of money and material, let them drag the people of Konoha. So Kumogakure began to argue with Hitaki Sakumo, which lasted for 3 years. In the end, Konoha didn't want to get involved with Kumogakure. He gave Kumogakure some benefits and sent them away. Kumogakure is indeed unscrupulous. After receiving the benefits of Konoha, he turned around and sold Iwagakure and Sunagakure, and went back without looking back. Onoki and the third generation of Kazekage were furious when they got the news, and they all clamored to make the third generation of Raikage look good. 12 But what Onoki did not expect was that after the group of Byakugan wolves in Kumogakure village returned, they gathered their forces and entered the land from the sea. Onoki's face turned Yuhi's face, and he didn't care about starting a war with Konoha. He angrily threw a word to the 3 generations of Kazekage, and then left with Iwagakure. At this time, the 3 generations of Kazekage were dumbfounded, and they all left, leaving them Sunagakure. What do you do with them, Sunagakure? Onoki, you bastard pitney. 3 generations of Kazekage roared. Consultant Chiyo, what should we do now? Should we surrender to Konoha, or will we fight with Konoha to the end? The 3 generations of Kazekage couldn't make up their minds and could only ask Chiyo for advice. Fight, never surrender. Just as White Fang is coming, I want him to be buried with my son and daughter-in-law. Chiyo's eyes were red. All right. 3 generations of Kazekage felt like asking for nothing. After hesitating for a long time, the 3 generations of Kazekage decided not to surrender, the price of surrender they could not afford. Originally there was Iwagakure village, and even if they surrendered, Iwagakure village would share the burden. Now Sunagakure village is left. If they surrendered, Konoha would not open his mouth and bite them to death. Situation in the ninja world has changed so quickly that the 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed out loud. Then he took the ninja to attack Sunagakure frantically, and Sunagakure couldn't raise his head, and White Fang brought the ninja to support, and the situation of Sunagakure was even worse. Just 1 month, Sunagakure had already retreated to the territory of the Kingdom of Wind. And with the defeat of Sunagakure, the Second Ninja War has come to an end. In fact, if it wasn't for Kumogakure's spoiler, the Second Ninja War would have ended long ago. Because of Kumogakure's wrangling, dragged Konoha White Fang Hitaki Sakumo, and Hyuga-chan's inaction, the Second Ninja World War has continued until now. Hanzo of the Land of Rain, after a symbolic resistance, also issued a letter of surrender to Konoha, freeing Orochimaru and Jiraiya as well. After that, the unfortunate Sunagakure was left. Sunagakure is now very unlucky. He alone resists all the fighting power of the entire Konoha, making Sunagakure miserable. Causing a lot of trouble for the unfamiliar Konoha and giving Sunagakure a breather. However, it was difficult for a single tree to stand alone, and it was too reluctant for a village in Sunagakure to fight against the strongest Konoha. After just holding on for more than half a year, Sunagakure submitted a letter of surrender. Seeing Sunagakure hand in the surrender letter, Konoha's ninjas were also relieved that the war was finally over. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the compensation slip from Sunagakure village, and frowned. It only compensated 1 billion taels. If the compensation is made like this, then as a victorious country, Konoha will lose money. So Sarutobi Hiruzen rejected it on the spot, and came up with the minimum limit of war compensation, asking Sunagakure to compensate 50 billion taels. Sunagakure blew up on the spot, and the Sunagakure village was sold for so much money. 3 generations of Kazekage directly stated that you should either take 1 billion taels and leave, or start a war, and the big deal is a deadly fight to the end. What do you guys think? Said the 3rd Hokage with a cigarette in his mouth, frowning. They can't really destroy Sunagakure village. Sunagakure village is not so easy to destroy, but Sunagakure village's war reparations are too small. What else can we do? Fight over and destroy Sunagakure village. Danzo roared aggressively. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Danzo, then turned to look at the others. This proposal is completely nonsense. Even if they kill Sunagakure, what if they kill Sunagakure? Konoha will lose more than the gain with Sunagakure's dying counterattack. Hyuga Chen sat in the corner, quietly watching them gossip. After chatting for a long time, there was no result, and the stalemate with Sunagakure continued. After a few months of stalemate, Konoha had no choice but to agree to compensation from Sunagakure village due to supply problems. The two countries also established diplomatic relations and became allies. After the signing of the pact, Konoha began to withdraw, and Iwagakure and Kumogakure also stopped the war. Iwagakure suffered a big loss in the hands of Kumogakure, and the two sides also forged a tie. While evacuating from the village of Omegakure, Jiraiya unexpectedly accepted Yahiko and Nagato as apprentices and planned to teach them for a while. Hyuga Chen looked at this scene, frowning slightly, and the trajectory seemed to return to before. Originally, Hyuga Chen thought that the trajectory had changed, and Yahiko and Nagato would not worship Jiraiya as a teacher. Now it seems to be wrong, and without Konan, Yahiko and Nagato still meet together. Is 153 destined? Rinnegan whose Nagato was covered, Hyuga-chan's eyes flashed with covetousness. He knew that Uchiha Madara must have left a means on Rinnegan, and moving Rinnegan might alarm Uchiha Madara. But Hyuga-chan is not afraid at all. What about Uchiha Madara? Even if I take your Rinnegan away, you can only watch. After thinking about it, Hyuga-chan gave up. He was already going to the moon. If he chose to absorb pupil power, Hyuga-chen was still willing to choose Tenseigan. Because Hyuga-chen is afraid of Rinnegan's pupil power, and his Tenseigan's pupil power will be repelled. Those who teach other villages, thank you for thinking of it, Sarutobi, a good disciple you taught. Danzo left in dissatisfaction. Hey, Jiraiya, remember to go back to the village early. Sarutobi Hiruzen said helplessly, looking at the determined Jiraiya. This kind of war orphans, living is also a kind of pain, ending their lives is the best choice. I really don't understand your idiot's thoughts. Orochimaru said murderously. Yahiko and Nagato looked at Orochimaru in fear. Orochimaru. Jiraiya growled disapprovingly. Sometimes it's not your own, it's better to give up and be careful to get into trouble. Hyuga-chen glanced at Nagato and said lightly. Then, without waiting for the others to question, Hyuga-chen stepped forward. Chapter 122 Head to the moon to absorb the giant Tenseigan. After more than 10 days, Hyuga-chen and the others returned to Konoha. The whole Konoha village was lively and festive. The Konoha villagers spontaneously came to welcome these Konoha heroes. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was walking at the forefront, disappeared with a smile on his face. But it was also a happy day. In the days that followed, Konoha was enveloped in a lamentation, and countless ninjas went to the Konoha cemetery to Matsuri to pay tribute to the ninjas who died in this war. The whole Konoha was shrouded in mourning, and that was the price of war. While the Konoha villagers were in mourning, Hyuga-chen spoke to Tsunade, Makoto and the others, and then left Konoha village. It's mysterious, and I don't know what the hell is going on. Tsunade shook his head, and started to pack up. She had already decided before that she would leave after the war, and she would leave Konoha, Hyuga-chen and the others together. Because of what Hyuga-chen did, even if Hyuga-chen wanted to stay in Konoha, Sandai and Danzo couldn't tolerate him. Coming to a remote place, Hyuga-chen took out a bottle of blue-purple potion and was very excited. This bottle of potion is the perfect serum from the previous system package. Hyuga-chen plans to use it now and then go to the moon. The system didn't say how to use it. Could it be taken orally? Hyuga-chan asked a question mark. Thinking about it, Hyuga-chan opened the medicine and drank it. If it was injected, the system would definitely give it a syringe. Since it was not given, it should be taken orally. After drinking it, Hyuga-chan felt that her body began to heat up, her skin turned yuhi-colored, and she felt a slight tingling pain on her body. After a long time, it stopped. Hyuga-chan suddenly opened his eyes, wrapped his palm around armament hockey, stretched out his hand and slammed it. The air burst and roared, and even the space appeared slightly distorted. This kind of power should not be much worse than the formation of the 8 inner gates. Hyuga-chan estimated that his power is no weaker than when he turned on the Tenseigan chakra mode 5 years ago. To increase physical fitness tenfold, the increase in strength is not only tenfold, but dozens or even hundreds of times. Sage mode. Hyuga-chan entered Sage mode instantly. Wearing a royal robe made of photons, a lightning mark appeared on his forehead, and his hair flashed with lightning. Years of training, Hyuga-chan has now cultivated into the perfect Sage mode and can enter Sage mode instantly. Feeling his own strength, but it was more than doubled, Hyuga-chan frowned slightly. Although he had already guessed the result, he was still very disappointed. If Sage mode can increase the power dozens of times again, no joke, Hyuga-chan can easily blow the earth with one punch. While the result disappointed him, it did not exceed his expectations, otherwise Sage mode would be too pervert. But it's not bad to be able to double the strength. Now I feel that 6 paths Madara can't stop my punches, and I really have the strength to cross the ninja world. Hyuga-chan's eyes flashed. When Sage mode is released, Hyuga-chan looks at the moon. Although it is daytime, Hyuga-chan can still see the moon hanging in the sky. It's about time. Everyone is innocent, but guilty, Hyuga-chan said coldly. Without looking for the passage to the moon, Tenseigan is the best passage. After one step into space, Hyuga-chan appeared on the moon in an instant, and Tenseigan is the passage connecting the moon. This moon is really strange. There is still oxygen. Hyuga-chan took a breath and said, and then entered the interior of the moon. The suspended earth, the luxurious ancient palace, but it was a bit shabby at this time, as if it had just experienced a big battle, which was a little different from what Hyuga-chan imagined. What's going on? Could it be that the Otsutsuki clan is already in civil strife? It shouldn't be. Hyuga-chan frowned slightly, then glanced at it and found that there were only a few lives on the entire moon. Feeling the same source of pupil power in the distance, Hyuga-chan's eyes fluctuated slightly. Although I don't know when the civil strife broke out in the Otsutsuki clan, it's better for me and saves me some effort. Hyuga-chan smiled slightly, and then flew towards the temple in front of him. Ha ha ha, with the Tenseigan, and without the main clan that hinders our wishes, we can fulfill the wishes of our ancestors and destroy the wrong earth. The Otsutsuki branch people laughed wildly. Really, you may not have a chance. Why don't I send you to see the ancestor, and you ask him what he means? Hyuga-chan appeared behind them, swung out the Tiankong cloud sword, and chopped off their heads with one sword. In the case of not knowing what the opponent's cards are, Hyuga-chan will not push the opponent too much, and kill the opponent first. In this way, the only remaining members of the Otsutsuki clan were all hacked to death by Hyuga-chan, and the poor Otsutsuki lost all hope of being born. Looking at the huge Tenseigan next to him and feeling the majestic pupil power in it, Hyuga-chan's heart became hot, and this huge pupil power was stronger than Hyuga-chan's Tenseigan. Under the slight pressure, Hyuga-chan approached the giant Tenseigan, and then placed his hand on the giant Tenseigan. The two Tenseigans shone like stars, and the huge pupil power quickly flowed into Hyuga-chan's Tenseigan. Hyuga-chan's entire body was wrapped in pupil power, and then absorbed by Tenseigan, feeling warm all over his body, as if he was soaking in Izumi's warmth. After half an hour, Hyuga-chan absorbed the pupil power of the huge Tenseigan, and the Tenseigan that had lost pupil power turned into powder and dissipated. Hyuga-chan covered her eyes and sat on the ground, feeling the pain in her eyes. A wry smile appeared on the corner of Hyuga-chan's mouth. Pupil power is too strong. As expected from the accumulation of countless Byakugans, Hyuga-chen felt that his eyes were about to burst after absorbing all the pupil power. A long time for Hyuga-chen to stand up. Now the huge pupil power in Tenseigen needs to be digested by Hyuga-chen. Now Hyuga-chen feels that his Tenseigen pupil strength is improving all the time, and when he fully digests his pupil strength, he will definitely become stronger. At this time, Hyuga-chen looked at the 5 corpses next to him, 3 men, 2 women, and walked over to look at them, but found no ninjutsu or taijutsu, which made Hyuga-chen a little disappointed. I originally wanted to learn from the ancient techniques of the Otsutsuki family, but I didn't expect it to exist. Get up and put away the things you are looking at in the palace, and then leave the palace. After leaving the palace, Hyuga-chen did not go back, but circled inside the moon. It seems that it's not long before the war is over, and the corpse has not been cleaned up yet, so I got a cheap one. Glancing at the corpses everywhere, Hyuga-chen smiled. It's better to come early than coincidence. If Hyuga Tatsuya came early, he might have to face the entire Otsutsuki clan. Walking, Hyuga-chen suddenly stopped, turned to look at the figure who suddenly appeared behind him, his face turned cold. Who are you? Chapter 123 Otsutsuki Hamura. Hyuga-chen looked at the mysterious man with a cold expression. Could the other party suddenly appear behind him? Could it be simple? My name is Otsutsuki Hamura. An old voice reached Hyuga-chen's ears. You ugly guy is Otsutsuki Hamura? Hyuga-chen asked with a frown. Otsutsuki Hamura twitched the corners of his mouth. His face was filled with anger, and at the same time there was some shock. He seemed to understand himself by listening to the other party's tone. Tell me, what's the matter with me? Hyuga-chen said lightly. He could clearly feel the maliciousness of the other party, and the purpose of Otsutsuki Hamura's appearance was definitely not simple. I can feel the evil in your heart. For the sake of the ninja world, you stay here with me. Otsutsuki Hamura looked at Hyuga-chen with pure white eyes. Ha ha ha, it's ridiculous, kicking at the speed of light. Hyuga-chen Yangtian laughed a few times, suddenly shot up, and kicked Otsutsuki Hamura who couldn't dodge. The powerful force shattered half of Otsutsuki Hamura's body and then destroyed the surrounding buildings. You can do it, you won't be noisy, not to mention that the other party is Otsutsuki Hamura, the younger brother of the 6 Paths Immortal. Of course, it is better to start first. Otsutsuki Hamura, who was kicked to pieces, recovered in the blink of an eye, staring at Hyuga-chen with frost-like eyes. I am the incarnation of chakra, you can't kill me, just stay here. 80 Gods Vacuum Attack. Countless overwhelming fists hit Hyuga-chen with a speed like a shooting star. The moves are powerful, but you have to hit me. Hyuga-chen instantly hid in his own space. The missing 80 Gods Vacuum Attack hit the inside of the moon, making the entire moon tremble a few times. Space power is not unmatched. Yomatsu Hirasaka. Otsutsuki Hamura opened a pitch-black cave, and then submerged in it, appearing in Hyuga-chen's space. Are you really only left with chakra and soul now? Hyuga-chen asked to Otsutsuki Hamura who had just entered, not surprised that Otsutsuki Hamura was able to enter his own space. Otsutsuki Hamura did not reply, looking at Hyuga-chen indifferently. Hyuga-chen pondered. He can now be sure that Otsutsuki Hamura is definitely more than just chakra and soul left, his physical body is definitely still there. Take Senju Hashirama as an example, others are dead, but the cells are still alive. How could Otsutsuki Hamura, who is stronger than Senju Hashirama, die? Where's your Tenseigen? Hyuga-chen asked suspiciously. Doesn't Otsutsuki Hamura have a Tenseigen? You mean this? Otsutsuki Hamura closed his eyes, then opened them again, becoming a Tenseigen that was a little different from Hyuga-sen's Tenseigen. It's really powerful pupil power. Hyuga-chen said with admiration. This pupil power is a little stronger than the previous him, and he is indeed the ancestor of the Hyuga family. Give you a chance, hand over your Tenseigen, and I can spare you from dying. Ahahaha, I really thought that if I lived a little longer, I would be able to kill me. If you dare to talk to me like this, and if you dare to peep at my Tenseigan, you are destined to die today without a place to be buried. Hyuga-chan's tone was slightly angry, but he dared to hit him. I still want your Tenseigan. He had known for a long time that Otsutsuki Hamura had bad intentions, but he didn't expect that he was spying on his own Tenseigan. Arrogant, don't think that with Tenseigan, you can compete with me. 6 paths, God vacuum palm. Otsutsuki Hamura slapped the void, and a huge palm print that covered the space bombarded Hyuga-chen. Small trick. Hyuga-chen pouted in disdain, covered his fist with armament hockey, and then smashed the imposing real vacuum palm seal with one punch. Otsutsuki Hamura frowned. He didn't expect the opponent to be so strong. His move was his brother Otsutsuki Hagoromo, and it couldn't be broken so easily. Otsutsuki Hamura became serious, looked at Hyuga-chen vigilantly, and completely regarded the opponent as an opponent of the same level. Frightened by the strength of the young master, hand over all your chakras and tenseigans to those who are sensible. Maybe I will leave you a little soul to survive. Extremely arrogant. Otsutsuki Hamura was furious, and 12 Gudodama truth-seeking ball appeared behind him in an S-shaped arrangement. Under the control of Otsutsuki Hamura, it turned into a sword and stabbed towards Hyuga-chen. Useless attack. When the sword transformed by Gudodama truth-seeking ball was about to touch Hyuga-chen, a space crack appeared, and all the swords made by Gudodama truth-seeking ball were all submerged in the space crack. However, Otsutsuki Hamura didn't expect those Gudodama truth-seeking ball to do meritorious deeds at all. When Hyuga-chen defended Gudodama truth-seeking ball with his space ability, he immediately turned into a streamer and appeared behind Hyuga-chen. Gentle Fist, 8 trigrams, 361. The stormy fists and palm prints poured out on Hyuga-chen. Is it fun to hit my shadow clone? Otsutsuki Hamura finished playing. Hyuga-chen's voice came from behind Otsutsuki Hamura. When Otsutsuki Hamura rushed over, Hyuga-chen had already used Shadow Clone, and then switched positions with Shadow Clone using the double technique. Because the speed was too fast, Otsutsuki Hamura did not see it. Come and taste the power of 8 trigrams 361. A Tai Chi 8 trigrams array enveloped Otsutsuki Hamura, and then greeted Otsutsuki Hamura with fists and palm prints. And on the palm that Hyuga Tatsu punched out, wrapped in a green sphere, Otsutsuki Hamura's chakra was continuously drawn. Otsutsuki Hamura roared again and again, but Hyuga-chen didn't give him a chance to resist at all. After the 8 trigrams 361, Hyuga-chen leaned on Ultimate's speed, chasing after Otsutsuki Hamura and absorbing his chakra. Facing Hyuga-chen, who was moving at the speed of light, Otsutsuki Hamura could only catch Hyuga-chen's figure, but could not keep up with his speed. Now Otsutsuki Hamura was beaten and wanted to call her mother. Of course, even if Otsutsuki Hamura really called his mother, Otsutsuki Kagaya would have killed the bad boy himself. Although Otsutsuki Hamura's chakra was huge, it couldn't stand Hyuga-chen's constant draws. After 10 minutes, Otsutsuki Hamura couldn't hold on anymore. Leaving chakra incarnate, Otsutsuki Hamura's soul escaped and wanted to break through Hyuga-chen's space to leave. Normal strangers can't see the soul, but Hyuga-chen has Zanpakudo, so naturally you can see the soul. Otsutsuki Hamura, who was running away in front of him, Hyuga-chen smiled unkindly, took out Ryujin Jaka, and slashed at Otsutsuki Hamura. Just when Otsutsuki Hamura was about to be hacked to death, he suddenly reacted and barely avoided Ryujin Jaka, but his right arm was chopped off. At this time, Otsutsuki Hamura also broke through Hyuga-chen's space and immediately got in and escaped. Otsutsuki Hamura fleeing in a panic, Hyuga-chen snorted coldly, then grabbed the arm that had turned into a mass of soul power in his hand and sealed it. Chapter 124 Guild Wars Otsutsuki Hamura. Looking at the chakra incarnation, who had no intelligence and rushed towards him like a puppet, Hyuga-chen solved it with a few tricks, and then sealed Otsutsuki Hamura's chakra. Precious. Leaving his own space and returning to the moon again, observation Haki is released, covering dozens of kilometers in an instant, and then Hyuga-chan Hua shuttles on the moon as a streamer, constantly perceiving everything on the moon. Even if the whole moon is smashed, Hyuga-chan will find Otsutsuki Hamura, and then kill him, otherwise the tiger will return to the mountain, and the trouble will be endless. Under Hyuga-chan's inch-by-inch perception, Otsutsuki Hamura still couldn't escape, and was found by Shanchan. You really want to kill me? Otsutsuki Hamura looked ugly, waiting for Hyuga-chan. At this point, he had returned to his physical body, and as Hyuga-chan had guessed, his physical body was not dead. Didn't you say that I'm evil in my heart, and I know the world of cholera and ninja? I'm giving you a chance to kill the people now, what are you running for? Hyuga-chan jokingly said. I thought I'd be afraid of you, Tenseigen chakra mode. Otsutsuki Hamura was shrouded in turquoise chakra, and the huge momentum swept the moon, causing the moon to vibrate violently. At this time, the earth is at night, and people can see that the moon is constantly shaking, and they are very confused. Is this moon drunk? There are even some mediocre guys, worried that the moon will fall and kill them. Humph, I'm standing and let you fight, but you can't beat me. Hyuga-chan snorted coldly and looked at Otsutsuki Hamura with disdain. Look how long you can be arrogant. The golden wheel is reborn. Takamura. When Otsutsuki Hamura used the golden wheel reincarnation explosion, Hyuga-chan used Gao Tianyuan, and then became immune to the golden wheel reincarnation blast. Instantly move in front of Otsutsuki Hamura, wrap armament Haki with both hands, and instantly enter Sage mode. 6 types of profound meanings, the largest round 6 king spear. Hyuga-chan carried the strongest power and hit Otsutsuki Hamura's chest. Half of his body was directly smashed into ashes by Hyuga-chan, and the remaining half of his body was knocked out of the moon. However, Otsutsuki Hamura also has a sage body, plus it is a 6 paths level character, but it only takes a few tens of seconds to recover. This recovery ability is simply pervert. Hyuga-chan caught up in an instant, and the two fought in space. The surrounding meteorites had become their weapons. Under the control of their gravity, they kept colliding. At their level, there is no need for oxygen anymore, and the various radiations in space are also ineffective for them, and they are not afraid of the environment in space. Bump! Hyuga-chan was hit by the 80 Gods vacuum attack, and his body flew out, smashing a huge meteorite. Looking at the scars that disappeared in an instant, Hyuga-chan showed a bloodthirsty smile on the corner of his mouth, saying that this was the first time he had been hurt by someone else. Electric Particle Cannon. A golden yellow beam cannon wrapped around thunder struck Otsutsuki Hamura in the distance. Otsutsuki Hamura was shocked, and quickly controlled the surrounding meteorites and Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, to block in front of him. However, huge meteorites of dozens of kilometers and hundreds of kilometers are as fragile as paper under the electro-optical particle cannon, and even Gudodama, truth-seeking ball, who destroys everything, cannot stop the electro-optical particle cannon's footsteps. Electro-optical particle cannon hit Otsutsuki Hamura and then emitted a dazzling light. After a long time, the light dissipated, Otsutsuki Hamura clutched his chest, his body was tattered, and his body was destroyed by the burst damage of the electro-optical particle cannon. This is the first time I use the combination of glitter fruit and thunder fruit at the same time. The effect is not bad. Hyuga-chan nodded, satisfied with the power of this move. Then it turned into a flash, and Hyuga-chan came to Otsutsuki Hamura in an instant, and then kicked him back to the moon with a kick at the speed of light. Through the surface of the moon and fell into the inner space of the moon, Otsutsuki Hamura spit out a mouthful of old blood, and his eyes were hazy. Just now, Hyuga-chan kicked him on the head, and he was already kicked, and now his head is still buzzing. 6 paths level is nothing but the same, but you are the first person to fight with me for so long, I will give you a gorgeous ending. Hyuga-chan looked at Otsutsuki Hamura with a sneer. Although Hyuga-chan is not of the 6 paths level, his combat power is stronger than that of the 6 paths level, and the current Hyuga-chan single skill is stronger than the 8 guys. And Guy is just a moment of youth. Hyuga-chen is not. Guy can hit 6 paths Madara, and Hyuga-chen, who is stronger than Bam and Guy, can naturally beat Otsutsuki Hamura. The strength of Otsutsuki Hamura is not stronger than that of 6 paths Madara, not even that of 6 paths Madara who became the 10 Tails Jinchuriki column force. I didn't expect a freak like you to appear in the ninja world. If my elder brother knew about it, he would have a headache. Otsutsuki Hamura smiled miserably. Your strength is indeed very strong, but if you want my life, it is impossible. Otsutsuki Hamura let out a roar, recovered again, then waved his left arm, leaning against one arm to strike the 80 Gods vacuum attack again. Not that Otsutsuki Hamura wants to pretend to use the 80 Gods vacuum attack with one hand, but the soul of Otsutsuki Hamura's right hand, which has been cut off by Ryujin Jaka of Hyuga-chen before, and now has a right arm, but it has been abolished. Humph. I fought the 80 Gods vacuum attack before, just wanted to see its power. You thought the 80 Gods vacuum attack would work for me. Hyuga-chen snorted coldly, and then used elementalization, directly ignoring the 80 Gods vacuum attack. Any physical attack was ineffective against him. Hyuga-chen defeated Taijutsu Ninja. And Otsutsuki Hamura's strongest aspect is also physical art, so Otsutsuki Hamura is actually very sad in front of Hyuga-chen. Originally, Otsutsuki Hamura was very excited after seeing Hyuga-chen being beaten into a group of lights, thinking that Hyuga-chen was too big and was beaten to death by him. Hyuga-chen unscathed, Otsutsuki Hamura's expression immediately turned ugly. Even now Otsutsuki Hamura is desperate. Actually, I want to kill you, it's easy. Hyuga-chen mocked lightly. Even Hyuga-chen himself can't find his weakness, who else can beat him? From the moment he took the super serum, Hyuga-chen was not afraid of anyone, even if Otsutsuki Momoshiki, Otsutsuki Kagaya and the others went together, Hyuga-chen was not afraid. With 6 paths level attack power and invincible defense, whoever can defeat Hyuga-chen, now only time will be able to fight against him. And now Hyuga-chen will soon overcome time, and the only enemy will disappear by then. Alas, invincible is really lonely, who else can fight me? Hyuga-chen's voice echoed in the inner space of the moon. Don't be arrogant, you haven't defeated me yet. Otsutsuki Hamura shouted in humiliation. I haven't put you in my eyes yet. If you call your big brother over and add the two of you together, I might be able to look at you right now. Hyuga-chen said dismissively. Chapter 125 Otsutsuki Revenant demonized Otsutsuki Hamura. Do you still want to struggle? No amount of struggle is useless. After living for thousands of years, you should die. Hyuga-chen took out Ryujin Jaka, and pointed the tip of his sword at Otsutsuki Hamura. Humph. Otsutsuki Hamura, how could I lose to the junior? Otsutsuki Hamura said stubbornly. Hyuga-chen looked at the other party with disdain, and said lightly, you are already out of luck, and you still want to make some waves. I'm not really your opponent, but if I want to go, you can stop me. Otsutsuki Hamura opened the dark cave in an instant and wanted to escape with Yomatsu Hirasaka, the ultimate space ninjutsu. Want to run? No one can escape in my hands, time is still. Hyuga-chen sneered, using time to freeze time and make everything stop. Came to Otsutsuki Hamura in an instant, and reached out to buckle down Otsutsuki Hamura's Tenseigen. You ran out of your spare time to give me Tenseigen. If I don't accept it, wouldn't I look down on you? Hyuga-chen smiled and looked at the Tenseigen in his hand, and then kicked Otsutsuki Hamura away with one foot, releasing the time standstill. My eyes, you actually gouged my eyes. After the time pause was lifted, Otsutsuki Hamura cried out in pain and embarrassment. Then Otsutsuki Hamura used yin and yang to create 2 eyes for himself. Naturally, these 2 eyes were not Tenseigen, but Byakugan. To be able to create Byakugan with yin and yang, Hyuga-chen's expression was dull. Although Byakugan looks very dishy, with the development and use, it will not be weaker than 3 Tomo Sharingan in the end, the main thing is a large amount of Byakugan, which can make Tenseigan. You can create Byakugan. Why don't you make a huge Tenseigan with a lot of Byakugan, but keep it my Tenseigan instead? Hyuga-chan asked curiously. Humph. You thought Tenseigan was born so well. Otsutsuki Hamura snorted coldly. Even he didn't know how the members of the Otsutsuki branch made the giant Tenseigan. Hyuga-chan nodded with a look of joy in his heart. Fortunately, the Otsutsuki branch had already made a huge Tenseigan, otherwise he might not have been able to make it himself. So, the huge Tenseigan made by the Otsutsuki branch was an accident. That's right, Otsutsuki Hamura said with a bad expression. The huge Tenseigan had already been regarded as his own, but he didn't expect a Hyuga-chan to kill the giant Tenseigan halfway. It's such a pity, I wanted to control you and let you make Tenseigan for me. Now it doesn't seem to work. It's useless for you, go to hell. Humph. Let you see my true means, the undead of the Otsutsuki clan, obey the call of the ancestors and wake up. Otsutsuki Hamura stretched out his hand, the moon shook, and countless souls returned from the underworld, gathered towards him, and surrounded Hyuga-chan. Hyuga-chan was surprised for a moment, then the corners of his mouth showed disdain, and said lightly, can you beat me with just a group of ghosts and ghosts? Shinra Bansho, all creation. All ashes. Ryujin Jaka. Temperature continued to rise, Hyuga-chan stood there like the sun, and some soul bodies were burned by the explosion before they approached Hyuga-chan. Ryujin Jaka is the strongest Zanpakuto of the flame type, and cutting these little devil-like characters is not as simple as cutting vegetables and melons. Otsutsuki Hamura did not dare to neglect, and hurriedly let the dead souls of the Otsutsuki clan withdraw, looking at Hyuga-chan, who had no solution, with a sense of despair in his heart. Otsutsuki Hamura, who didn't want to die, had a ruthless expression on his face, and then flew into the air, sucking all the souls of the Otsutsuki clan into his body, turning himself into a huge monster. What is this? Looking at the monster with a demon mask on its face, several 100 meters tall and with 6 arms, Hyuga-chan was startled. Ha ha ha, the undead power of the Otsutsuki family for thousands of years has been absorbed by me, and now no one can defeat me. Otsutsuki Hamura laughed wildly. Is this corroded? Hyuga-chan said with a frown, looking at the mad Otsutsuki Hamura. Now Otsutsuki Hamura looks like he has lost his mind. Hyuga-chan jumped up and kept dodging Otsutsuki Hamura's fist. The earth trembled as the huge fist hit. Sage Art Susanoo. Huge, nearly 200 meters, Susanoo with a thunder mark appeared and confronted Otsutsuki Hamura. Although Hyuga-chan's Sage Art Susanoo was taller, it was still not as tall as Otsutsuki Hamura. You don't have to be great if you're big. The Fudo soul in Susanoo's hands was unsheathed and slashed at Otsutsuki Hamura with one knife. Chang! The symphony of gold and iron recalled, Susanoo took a few steps back, and Otsutsuki Hamura was unscathed. Damn it! This defense has failed, Hyuga-chan said in shock. He thought this demonized Otsutsuki Hamura was a paper tiger, but he didn't expect it to be a real tiger. Roar! Otsutsuki Hamura let out a loud roar, and then his fist smashed towards Susanoo with the aura of destroying all things. Susanoo, who was hit, took a dozen steps back, and the armor on his chest was slightly cracked, and then repaired in an instant. Damn, who's afraid of who? Watch Lao Su blow your head off. Hyuga-chen controlled Susanoo and started a fierce battle with Otsutsuki Hamura. Boom, boom, boom. Susanoo smashed on the ground, his arm was shattered, and his armor was all torn apart. Sage Art Susanoo was no match for Otsutsuki Hamura at all. I didn't expect to use Sage Art Susanoo for the first time, and I failed. Hyuga-chan muttered depressedly. Spirituality Golem. Veil Susanoo. The stone giant was channeled out, and then Susanoo turned into an armor, attached to the stone giant's body, and collided with Otsutsuki Hamura again. I'm invincible, no one can beat me, ha 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 ha. The power is powerful, but unfortunately people have gone mad, sad. Hyuga 1.7 Chen shook his head gleefully. I won't play with you anymore. The profound truth of physical art. Star Destruction Strike. Hyuga Chen shouted with a straight face and a slightly serious expression. The powerful airflow wrapped around Hyuga Chen, kicking the ground with both feet, leaving a huge hole like a crater, and the speed distorted the space. Boom! A huge explosion resounded through the moon, and dense cracks appeared in the space. Otsutsuki Hamura was knocked back to its original shape by this blow, lying on the ground and lingering on the ground, and the moon, which was hit by a disaster, was also shattered by countless large holes at this time, and almost fell apart. Star Destruction Strike is a body technique created by Hyuga Chen himself. In theory, it can destroy the planet with one blow, but Hyuga Chen definitely can't do it now. But it's easy to beat Otsutsuki Hamura. Even if Ten Tails is in front of Hyuga Chen, he can teach it to be a beast with one move. Chapter 126 Otsutsuki Hamura dies to become missing nin. Now there should be no means. Hyuga Chen took the knife and walked to the miserable Otsutsuki Hamura. Otsutsuki Hamura looked up at Hyuga Chen with difficulty, with a weird smile on his face. Yin escape spirit storm. HMPH. You dare to play with your spiritual power in front of me. Hyuga Chen dismissed it. He thought that Otsutsuki Hamura had some cards, but it turned out that he had brought him vegetables. Since getting Ryujin Jaka, Hyuga-chan's spiritual power has been growing rapidly, especially when Hyuga-chan completed Shikai. It made Hyuga-chan's spiritual power soar. Now Hyuga-chan's spiritual power is much stronger than Otsutsuki Hamura, an old monster that has survived for thousands of years. A sword formed by invisible spiritual power appeared in Hyuga Chen's hand, and the storm formed by Otsutsuki Hamura's spiritual power was easily cut off by Hyuga Chen. That's all you have to do, go at ease. I will make good use of your corpse, ha 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 ha. Hyuga Chen laughed a few times, then stabbed Ryujin Jaka into Otsutsuki Hamura's body, and then reached out and pressed 15 on Otsutsuki Hamura's head. Yin escape soul search. A huge amount of spiritual power poured into Otsutsuki Hamura's body, and the spiritual power was like a blade, searching for the memories in Otsutsuki Hamura's soul. Ah, want to get my memory, wishful thinking. Otsutsuki Hamura roared miserably. Under the gaze of Hyuga Chen, Otsutsuki Hamura killed his own soul. Knowing that he could not escape death, and not wanting to suffer the pain of searching for his soul, Otsutsuki Hamura committed suicide. Otsutsuki Hamura, who had gone silent, Hyuga Tatsu stood up with a sigh. If Hyuga Chen was given a few more seconds, he could get all of Otsutsuki Hamura's memories, but he didn't expect that Otsutsuki Hamura would be so decisive and ruthless that it destroyed his own soul. Although Hyuga Chen got a lot of memories, they were all moves from Otsutsuki Hamura, which made Hyuga Chen a little disappointed. Hyuga Chen doesn't lack the ability to move, what he lacks is the information about the Hokage world, and Hyuga Chen's understanding of the Hokage world is all from anime and manga. Now this is the real world, and the general development may be the same, but the details and truth may be completely different. Hyuga Chen didn't get too disappointed in not getting the memory he wanted about this ninja world, and it's not necessarily fun to be unknown. Moreover, Hyuga Chen is not afraid of any unknown changes at all, he has the strength to look down on everything. Looking at the corpse pinned to the ground by Ryujin Jaka, Hyuga Chen smiled, and Hyuga Chen was very satisfied with this trip to the moon. Huge Tensagen of Otsutsuki Hamura, and the corpse of Otsutsuki Hamura. Otsutsuki Hamura's corpse is also a good thing to use as a puppet. Although he was defeated by Hyuga Chen, there is no doubt about Otsutsuki Hamura's strength. Even if his strength is lowered a little, he can sweep the ninja world. Stop Otsutsuki Hamura without the Otsutsuki trio and the 6 Paths Immortals showing up. After sealing Otsutsuki Hamura's body, Hyuga Chen took out Otsutsuki Hamura's Tensagen, and after thinking about it, decided to absorb the pupil power. After the pupil power was absorbed, Otsutsuki Hamura's Tensagen also turned into powder and dissipated. Poor Otsutsuki Hamura was killed on the moon indirectly by Hyuga-chen without anyone knowing Akatsuki. After Otsutsuki Hamura died, the moon was left with a Kagaya-hime that did not know where it was sealed. After scanning around, Hyuga-chen used space teleportation to leave the riddled moon that could crumble at any time and return to Konoha. Yo, it's very lively. I don't know what you guys are doing blocking my door. Hyuga-chen had a smile on his face, but a cold glow appeared in his eyes. Looking at the group of people besieging his door, Hyuga-chen knew that the visitors were not good. Hyuga-chen, you are suspected of murdering the ninjas in the village and stealing the Konoha sealed book and a lot of money. You can plead guilty. Danzo pointed at Hyuga-chen and shouted sharply. A golden knife light flashed across, blood was scattered on the ground, a bloody arm flew into the sky, and then fell to the ground, splashing a trace of dust. Ah! Danzo screamed. I don't like people pointing at me. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Hyuga-chen, openly attack the Konoha ninja, don't you want to rebel? Sarutobi Hiruzen snapped. The surrounding Anbu also took out the kunai, ninja sword and pointed at Hyuga-chen. Rebel, I was about to leave, but you guys are still in this play. It seems that you won't see blood. You don't know how many eyes Ma Wangye has. Hyuga-chen took off the forehead guard tied to his arm and made a mark on it. Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression froze, and he said sharply, Hyuga-chen, you want to defect to Konoha. Hee, get out of the way quickly. I don't know if you guys are lacking in your brains. Come to trouble me when you have nothing to do. You will feel uncomfortable when you are full, right? Hyuga Tatsu knocked out Sarutobi Hiruzen with one palm, then ignored the surrounding Anbu ninjas and entered the house. Anbu's ninja looked at Hyuga-chen, a little afraid to move, and could only watch the missing nin who attacked Hokage enter the house. After Hyuga-chen entered the house, he heard Makoto and the others talking and laughing. What's going on with those guys outside? What else can I do to trouble you? The house you bought before has been seized. It seems that you can't be the real estate king. Kushina said gloatingly. What? Hyuga-chen jumped up. Seal my house. Sarutobi Hiruzen is so brave, I will kill him. Hyuga-chen walked out with a knife. He dared to be greedy for his money, whether it was him Hyuga-chen T357 without a knife, or Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others. Okay. Tsunade stretched out his hand and pulled him. Although he had cut off the relationship with Sarutobi Hiruzen, he couldn't just watch Hyuga-chen hack him to death. It doesn't matter if he doesn't kill him, but they'll have to spit it out for me, or I'm going to level Konoha today. Pack up and get ready to leave. Konoha can't stay anymore. I'm a missing nin now. Hyuga-chen turned his head and took out the ninja forehead. How did it become a missing nin? Tsunade asked in astonishment. That guy Danzo annoyed me, so I chopped off his arm, so it's missing nin. After Hyuga-chen replied, he kicked the door and walked out. Tsunade shook his head and didn't say anything. Missing nin was just missing nin. You can't be late, the door is smashed by you. Makoto said coquettishly. We're leaving anyway, so if it's broken, it's broken. Hyuga-chen waved his hand and said nonchalantly. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you bastard dare to embezzle the property of the young master. I said how shameless you are. Hyuga-chen roared angrily after walking out of the house. Hyuga-chen, you have the courage to openly attack Hokage. You are going to be the enemy of the whole Konoha. What are you? What is your business here? Hyuga-chen slashed the talkative Anbu to death, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Chapter 127 Sarutobi Hiruzen's whole card Eternal Mangekyo. Hyuga-chen, you slaughtered the village comrades, how can Konoha tolerate you? Sarutobi Hiruzen said with an ugly face, killing Konoha's ninja in front of his face, this is the old face of slapping him. I need Konoha to accommodate me, Hyuga-chen said disdainfully. You're hopeless. Sarutobi Hiruzen was furious. Stop talking nonsense, give me my real estate money, and I'll leave immediately, otherwise don't blame me for being ruthless. Hyuga-chen didn't want to talk nonsense with these people at all. Hyuga-chen, You stole the Konoha sealed book and Konoha's money, and now you dare to attack Hokage, commit murder in the Konoha village, and take him down for me. Danzo roared. Looks like you don't want to give it anymore. Hyuga-chan's face sank. Although he doesn't care about money very much, he doesn't allow others to occupy his property. Hyuga-chan is very domineering in his bones. Just as Hyuga-chan drew his sword again, Tsunade stepped out and grabbed Hyuga-chan. Forget it, the money should be used to feed the dog. No, just feed the dog will bark twice to please you. Feed them, they will only trouble you. Hyuga-chan shook his head firmly. Sweetened water style, water dragon bullet. An Anbu's ninja suddenly released a ninjutsu attack, and the target of the attack was the weakest Konan. Susanoo. Makoto squeaked. The pink Susanoo enveloped Konan, blocking the incoming ninjutsu. You are courting death. Makoto scowled. They had always treated Konan as a little sister, and they would not allow others to hurt. Although Konan was not injured, Makoto and the others were already angry. Susanoo's arm slapped, and the ninja who released the ninjutsu was instantly smashed into flesh, and there were many unlucky people standing with him, and they were also smashed into flesh. What? Mangekyo Sharingan. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked into Makoto's eyes in shock, and the blooming cherry blossoms were spinning in Makoto's eyes. God's sins can be forgiven, self-inflicted sins can't be lived. Hyuga-chan's eyes gradually turned cold. The wind was raging, and the surrounding Anbu ninjas were blown away by the raging wind, and the heavy momentum oppressed Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen not far away. Tsunade glanced coldly, but said nothing. Hyuga Tatsu disappeared, and when he reappeared, he was already beside Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo, kicking both feet at the speed of light. It's not my fault that you killed yourself. Hyuga-chan said in a cold voice, looking at the two who were spewing blood and flying backwards. Because there was a lot of movement here, all of Konoha's ninjas rushed over, looked at the scene for a moment, and then quickly helped Sarutobi Hiruzen and Danzo up. Teacher, what's going on? Orochimaru asked suspiciously. Hyuga-chan defected to the village, get me missing nin Hyuga-chan. Before Sarutobi Hiruzen spoke, Danzo spoke first, but Sarutobi Hiruzen did not refute Danzo's words. Orochimaru froze for a moment, then saw Hyuga-chan tied to his arm, with a knife-marked forehead guard. Hey I didn't expect Chen-kun to become missing nin, it seems that we have become enemies. Orochimaru said, licking the corner of his mouth. Yeah, I feel that being a missing nin is very imposing, so just be a missing nin. Hyuga-chan said with a smile. The surrounding ninjas looked at Hyuga-chan speechlessly. This was the most bizarre reason they had heard. Give me my money and I'll leave, don't force me to be rough. Cough. Sarutobi Hiruzen coughed out a mouthful of blood, which was also mixed with tiny pieces of internal organs. Sir Hokage, are you alright? The medical ninja, hurry up and come here. Everyone looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen nervously, and Danzo next to him was very depressed. His injuries were heavier than Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why no one cares about him? It's alright. Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand, then looked at Hyuga Tatsu. Hyuga Tatsu, Uchiha Makoto, you murdered the village ninjas, the sin is unpardonable, surrender. Have you been kicked, stupid? Hyuga-chan looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was talking nonsense, and asked suspiciously. Hyuga-chan, don't be mad, do you think Konoha really can't do anything about you? Ching-chung, come out, Sarutobi Hiruzen said in a low voice. Hyuga-chan looked at the confident Sarutobi Hiruzen and looked behind him curiously. Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, no wonder you are so confident to trouble me. Looking at the pair of Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan on the opposite side, Hyuga-chan nodded knowingly. The past, Hyuga-chan thought that Sarutobi Hiruzen's head was broken, so he dared to come to trouble him, but now it seems that Sarutobi Hiruzen's brain is not broken, but came prepared. It's a pity he doesn't know his specific strength. You are Uchiha Ching-chung, you are not dead. Danzo looked at Uchiha Ching-chung in astonishment. In fact, Danzo didn't know that Sarutobi Hiruzen had this trump card. Uchiha Chingchung, do you know Makoto? Hyuga-chan asked curiously. The other party actually has the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Hyuga-chan can't even be curious. Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan is harsh and outrageous. If the other party can open it, it must not be easy for his relatives. I know a little bit. He is the genius of our Uchiha family and the younger brother of Uchiha Kagami, the second-generation Hokage apprentice, but it is rumored that he is dead. Makoto said softly. Oh, so it is. Hyuga-chen nodded. Uchiha Chingchung should have transplanted Uchiha Kagami's eyes, and Uchiha Kagami also turned on Mangekyo. Cough. Chingchung, the other party will leave it to you. You have to be careful, the other party's strength is no less than your ancestor Uchiha Madara. Sarutobi Hiruzen coughed a few mouthfuls of blood and reminded Uchiha Chingchung. Don't worry, leave it to me. Even if Uchiha Madara is alive, she will not be my opponent. Uchiha Chingchung said proudly. Be careful, we will retreat. Sarutobi Hiruzen instructed again uneasy, and then led the Konoha ninja to retreat. The next battle is not something they can intervene, so let's go and watch from a distance. Sarutobi Hiruzen had already evacuated the crowd and cleared the battlefield long before. Your words are very arrogant. If Uchiha Madara hears it, I don't know if he will come to you. Hyuga-chen sneered. You will soon see my strength. Uchiha Chingchung said proudly. Che, from the look of you, I know that you are a freshman who just got the Eternal Mangekyo. Hyuga-chan said. Humph. Let you see our Uchiha family's strongest power, the full-body Susanoo. The blue Susanoo appeared, with a height of 100 meters, with the power to oppress people's hearts. With such a power, you should be able to defeat Hyuga-chan, right? Sarutobi Hiruzen said uncertainly in the distance. Orochimaru next to Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head. Although the 100-meter-high Susanoo was so powerful that it was difficult for him to compete, Orochimaru did not think that he could defeat Hyuga-chen. The complete body Susanoo Hyuga-chen also has, and Susanoo is not Hyuga-chen's strongest move, whether it is the powerful demonic illusion, or the ninjutsu that once killed 7,000 ninjas with one blow, they are all powerful abilities like gods. The teacher's trouble with Hyuga-chen this time is because he lost his mind. Chapter 128 Hitamitsu Katakana Middle. Koto Amatsukami is invalid. Makoto, teach him a lesson, let him know that there are days outside the sky, and there are people outside people. Hyuga-chan turned to Makoto and said. Yeah, good. Makoto nodded, then gave a coquettish voice. Full-body Susanoo. The pink full-body Susanoo appears, slightly higher than the cyan Susanoo next to it. Why don't you let me shoot? I can hang him too. Kushina pouted. She has now cultivated into sage mode, and now she is looking for someone to try it. Hyuga-chen rubbed Kushina's smooth hair vigorously, until after Kushina showed a dissatisfied look, Hyuga-chen did not let go. Your current sage mode is not proficient, so let's talk about it after you are proficient. I feel very skilled, Kushina said dissatisfied. Next time we meet a strong enemy, we will definitely let you take action. Let's see how Makoto teaches each other first. Hyuga-chan could only comfort him. Watching the two huge Susanoo face off, Hyuga-chan didn't worry about Makoto at all. Makoto not only has the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, but also the sage body. After years of practice, there is no need to worry about the chakra problem at all. The opponent will not be able to do it. The chakra is not as good as Makoto at all, just consuming Makoto can kill the 917 opponent. You actually turned on the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. Uchiha Chingchung's expression was extremely ugly. HMPH. Eternal Mangekyo is not your exclusive, streamer / Makoto snorted lightly, pulled out the long cherry blossom sword, and sent out a slash as fast as a streamer. Uchiha Chingchung, who didn't react due to shock, was slashed by Makoto's sword light, and Susanoo, who had a strong defense, was torn apart instantly. Susanoo of Uchiha Chingchung stepped back 10 steps, making the earth tremble. It's not good. Form 4 red sun formations. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared loudly, holding on to his body. Then Sarutobi Hiruzen, Danzo, Hataki Sakumo and Orochimaru stand in one position respectively, and then start hand seal, using the ultimate enchantment of the 4 red sun formation. The 4 scarlet sun array is indeed a barrier that can resist the 10 tailed beast bomb. Even though the one used by Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others cannot be compared with the one used by the 4 Hokages, there is no problem in defending Susanoo's aftermath. But Sarutobi Hiruzen's face was ugly. I didn't expect that Uchiha Makoto also has eternal Mangekyo. Hyuga-chen sat on the roof with Tsunade, Kushina, and Konan, watching the battle between the two Susanoo. Like a melon eater, no aftermath could get close to them. Sister Makoto is amazing. Konan's eyes sparkled and he admired Makoto very much. Boom, boom, boom. Susanoo's attack power is strong, and he can easily split several mountains with one sword. At this time, the 4 red sun formation has been destroyed. If the 4 red sun formation hadn't blocked the attack, Konoha would have been destroyed. Death to me, Uchiha Chingchung roared. His huge fist slammed on Makoto's Susanoo, making Makoto take a few steps back. Makoto also showed no weakness. Susanoo swung the long sword in his hand, and the vacuum blade slashed on Susanoo in Uchiha Chingchung. Every hit can tear open the opponent's defense, forcing Uchiha Chingchung to consume a lot of chakra to mend Susanoo. Although there are a lot of chakras in Uchiha Chingchung, Susanoo is very chakra-consuming, and with the constant repair of Susanoo's gaps, how can it withstand such consumption? But within 10 minutes, Uchiha Chingchung could no longer hold on, and Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was maintaining the 4 red suns outside, looked anxious. I heard Uchiha Chingchung say that he is already comparable to Uchiha Madara, but now he is beaten up by a little girl, which is too embarrassing. After holding on for another half a minute, Uchiha Chingchung couldn't hold on anymore, so he quickly lifted Susanoo and kept some chakra, otherwise he would have to wait to die after the chakra was exhausted. Damn, how come the other party has so many chakras? Uchiha Chingchung said with a livid face. Feeling the empty chakra in his body and the little pupil power left, Uchiha Chingchung didn't know what to do. As Hyuga-chen guessed, Uchiha Chingchung did just get the Eternal Mangekyo not long ago, but just after he got the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, Uchiha Chingchung was a little arrogant. Thinking that he is no worse than Uchiha Madara, and even in his thoughts, he is stronger than Uchiha Madara, but in fact he is standing in front of Uchiha Madara, and Uchiha Madara may not look at him directly. The current Uchiha Chingchung has not yet entered the Super Shadow, but it is only the peak of cage level, and it is still far from it. It's nothing compared to Makoto, who has entered the early stage of Super Shadow. Looking at the unrivaled Susanoo, Uchiha Chingchung avoided Makoto and went straight to Hyuga-chen not far away. Of the pupil technique that he awakened when he started Mangekyo, Uchiha Chingchung's heart was hot, and this was the key to his comeback. You actually came over to find me. Hyuga-chen was stunned. Uchiha Chingchung looked directly into Hyuga Tatsu's eyes, and with a glint of excitement in his eyes shouted, Koto Amatsukami. That's right, Uchiha Chingchung's pupil technique is Koto Amatsukami, the strongest single demonic illusion, which can permanently change the will of others without being detected. However, although Koto Amatsukami's ability is powerful, it is also very limited. Even if Uchiha Chingchung now has Eternal Mangekyo, it takes 3 years to use it again every time it is used, but it is much better than the 10-year interval needed to use it once in the Mangekyo period. Koto Amatsukami. Looking straight into Uchiha Chingchung's eyes, Hyuga-chen sneered at the corner of his mouth. Koto Amatsukami is indeed powerful, but if you want to use it against me, it is not enough. The huge pupil power surged, and the mental power immediately counterattacked. Uchiha Chingchung screamed in agony, then knelt on the ground with his head covered, blood dripping from his left eye, and dark yuhi-colored blood from his nose and ears. Hyuga-chen sneered and looked at Uchiha Chingchung, who was kneeling on the ground. He didn't even need to use Gao Tianyuan to be immune to this demonic illusion attack. Koto Amatsukami looks powerful, but that's against people below the 6 paths level, and it's not much use against the mentally strong and sharp 6 paths level people. Although Hyuga Chen did not enter the 6 paths level, his spiritual power is stronger than the 6 paths level. Uchiha Chingcheng playing demonic illusion in front of him is like playing a big knife in front of Guangong. I don't know what it is. How could this be? Why doesn't my Koto Amatsukami work? Uchiha Aocheng roared in disbelief. Because you met me, Hyuga Chen said lightly. Koto Amatsukami may not be useful to Uchiha Madara, let alone use it to deal with Hyuga Chen. Your left eye is Koto Amatsukami, so what kind of pupil is your right eye? Is it also Koto Amatsukami? Hyuga Chen asked curiously. Uchiha Shisui's Mangekyo, both eyes are Koto Amatsukami, but the ability is slightly different. I don't know if Uchiha Chingcheng's is the same. Chapter 129 The Embarrassing Situation of Sarutobi Hiruzen. You think I'll tell you? Uchiha Chingcheng glared at Hyuga Chen, covering his bleeding left eye. I need you to tell me. Hyuga Chen pouted in disdain. If Hyuga Chen really wants to know, just use Tenseigan to probe his memory directly. Otsutsuki Hamura can destroy his soul in front of him. Uchiha Chingcheng can't. This barrier is an eyesore. 8 trigrams God vacuum palm. In front of Hyuga-chan, S8 trigrams, God vacuum palm, the 4 red sun formation made a cracking sound, and then shattered and dissipated. As expected of Otsutsuki Hamura's physical art, the advancement of 8 trigrams vacuum palm, the power is really not small. Hyuga Chen praised. 8 trigrams God vacuum palm has a stronger 6 paths God vacuum palm above it, but like 80 God's vacuum attack, both require Keke Mora. Hyuga Chen can't use it right now. Old face of the 3 generations of Hokage turned Yuhi, and his eyes were unusually complicated. Now that his trump card is on his knees, what else can he do to deal with Hyuga Chen? Can he rely on himself? At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart flashed a trace of regret. Regret that I should listen to Uchiha Chingcheng's words, thinking that he really has the strength comparable to Uchiha Madara. It is precisely because Uchiha Chingcheng said that his strength is stronger than that of Uchiha Madara and that he has the same eyes as Uchiha Madara, that the 3rd generation was moved. In the eyes of the 3rd generation, even if Uchiha Chingcheng speaks loudly, he is not as good as Uchiha Madara, but with the same level of eyes as Uchiha Madara, it should not be worse than Hyuga Chen. In the eyes of the 3 generations, Hyuga Chen is considered strong, but not as good as Uchiha Madara. And Uchiha Chingcheng also told the 3 generations of Koto Amatsukami, the demonic illusion, which made the 3 generations even more confident. Koto Amatsukami against Hyuga Chen, their Konoha will gain an obedient superpower, remove an unstable factor, and avenge the dead ninja of their Sarutobi family. It can be said to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. It is because of these various factors that the 3 generations attacked Hyuga Chen. But what the 3 generations never expected was that Uchiha Chingcheng was such a waste that even Uchiha Makoto couldn't beat him, and then he ran to Hyuga Chen. He should have used Koto Amatsukami, but he seemed to be kneeling. Now the 3 generations are in an embarrassing situation, and the only trump card is gone, so how to face Hyuga Chen? What do you want? Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Hyuga Chen with a dark face. Hey you still have the face to ask me what I want. Hyuga Chen sneered and asked back. Sarutobi Hiruzen still had the face to ask what he wanted, which was ridiculous. Forget it, you give me the money you embezzled me, and I'll leave right away, so I won't embarrass you anymore. Hyuga Chen waved his hand and said. In Konoha for more than 10 years, I also have some feelings. Hyuga-chan can't really destroy Konoha, let alone Konoha and some of his friends. Impossible, Konoha is what you want to leave or stay when you want. Give it to me. Danzo, the pig teammate, jumped out and attacked the route that had been ambushed in advance. The sky full of kunai shuriken, mixed with ninjutsu and detonating talismans, flew towards Hyuga-chen and the others. It's your own death, Shinra Tensei, almighty push, sign. The powerful repulsion blocked all attacks. Hyuga-chen's face was already cold. Is this bullying him and has no temper? The scroll that sealed the body of Otsutsuki Hamura, and releasing the body of Otsutsuki Hamura, Hyuga-chen wanted to have a puppet master addiction. Byakugan, you actually attacked the Hyuga family. No, not the Hyuga family. At first Sarutobi Hiruzen thought it was a ninja of the Hyuga family, but after seeing the two horns on Otsutsuki Hamura's head, he immediately rejected the idea in his heart. The Hyuga family does not have such horns. Hyuga-chen controlled Otsutsuki Hamura to wave and kick, and had a different experience. This was the first time he actually controlled a puppet with his own hands. Past, although Hyuga-chen controlled Uchiha Ryo to attack the third Hokage, Uchiha Ryo still had his own consciousness, and Uchiha Ryo still relied on his combat actions. Hyuga-chen was just an order, which is completely different from the current control of Otsutsuki Hamura. Although Hyuga-chen only controlled Otsutsuki Hamura to kick and kick, but Otsutsuki Hamura's body was too strong. Just kicking and waving his hand made the ground tremble and the wind raged. Third generation of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen stretched out his hand to resist the strong wind, and looked at Otsutsuki Hamura in horror, wondering where Hyuga-chen got the monster. Tsunade, Makoto, Kushina, take Konan and stay away so you don't get splattered with blood. Hyuga-chen said something to Makoto and the others, and then manipulated Otsutsuki Hagoromo to turn into a streamer, instantly smashing the ninjas who attacked him into a bloody fog, which was scattered all over the sky. Hyuga-chen, do you want to be with Konoha forever? Sarutobi Hiruzen's face became more and more ugly. Dozens of ninjas died all at once. Even if he wanted to expose this matter now, he had to give others an explanation. I don't want money anymore. I'll leave it to you to buy a coffin. I'll turn around and leave after defeating my puppet. Hyuga-chen waved a stone bench and sat down. What are you running for? Come back to me. Hyuga-chen reached out and grabbed it, and Uchiha Chingchung, who was sneaking away, was caught by gravity. Several billions for a pair of eternal Mangekyo, shouldn't it be a loss? Hyuga-chen said while pinching his chin. You, what do you want? Uchiha Chingchung looked at Hyuga-chen with a little fear. See if you have potential. Hyuga-chen's mouth showed a strange smile. Then under the control of Hyuga-chen, Otsutsuki Hamura tore off a piece of flesh and blood, and then came to Uchiha Chingchung in an instant. The flesh and blood turned into flowing water and merged into Uchiha Chingchung. What is this? Uchiha Chingchung lay on the ground, curled up into a ball. The blue veins on his forehead were exposed, and his face was twisted in pain. This is a good thing. If you can bear it, maybe you can evolve Rinnegan in the future. If you can't bear it, you will die. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. He plans to take Uchiha Chingchung as an experiment, inject him with Otsutsuki Hamura's cells, and see if Rinnegan can evolve. Although it is unlikely, but try it out, in case it works. What the hell is he doing? Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a frown looking at him from a distance. Sarutobi-sensei, let's think about how to get through this. The other party is Hyuga-chen who kills without blinking an eye. Orochimaru reminded. Let the civilians take refuge first. If the other party really wants to destroy Konoha, I will not make it easier for him to die. Sarutobi Hiruzen said firmly. It really doesn't work, so I can only look for Tsunade. I hope Tsunade can see Konoha's face and stop Hyuga-chen. Orochimaru shrugged after hearing this. Tsunade was the only one left in the Senju clan. Tsunade didn't care about Konoha anymore. He even had grievances against Konoha, but he might not help Konoha. Chapter 130 Leave Konoha. Ah! Uchiha Chingchung roared violently. The momentum on his body increased rapidly. Both his physique and chakra volume were rapidly increasing. Uchiha Chingchung, who was screaming in pain. Hyuga-chen's eyes gleamed. Is this going to be a success? As long as Uchiha Chingchung can survive the erosion of Otsutsuki Hamura cells, it may not be impossible to turn on Rinnegan in the future. After Uchiha Chingchung roared, his body fell to the ground, motionless. Failed. Hyuga Chen shook his head in disappointment. At this time, Uchiha Chingchung had no breath, and all the cells in his body collapsed under the erosion of Otsutsuki Hamura's cells. But there is a pair of eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. It is not a loss. Rinnegan is so easy to get. Hyuga Chen shook his head, contented. Come along with you too. Under the control of Hyuga Chen, Uchiha Chingchung, who had already died, opened his eyes again, and then used Susanoo to stare blankly at the crowd in Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face turned even darker. He sighed helplessly, and looked at Tsunade in the distance. Tsunade, Konoha is also your home, and you don't want the village to be destroyed. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were begging. For the safety of Konoha, Sarutobi Hiruzen will not have his old face anymore, not to mention the character of Sarutobi Hiruzen. His love for the village is absolutely comparable. Tsunade turned his head, pretending he didn't see it. Alas! Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, regretting it in his heart, knowing that he would not listen to Danzo at first, and went to target the already lonely Senju clan. Otherwise, there would be no complete break with Tsunade now. Hyuga Chen, you are also a ninja of Konoha, are you so ruthless? Don't you have any ties in the village? Now Sarutobi Hiruzen can only rely on playing emotional cards, and it is certain that they will not be able to beat him. Even Hyuga-chan's puppet can't be beaten by them. Actually, I don't have any hatred for Konoha. Hyuga Chen shook his head. In fact, the rift between him and Konoha was entirely because he was unhappy with Danzo, and then he shot at Danzo, and then in order to vent his anger on Tsunade, he killed the Sarutobi and Shimura clans, causing him to form a feud with Sandai and Danzo. Speaking of which, Hyuga Chen is also responsible for making such a fuss, but so what, will I, Hyuga Chen, do something wrong? Even if there is a fault, it is not on his side, because Hyuga Chen believes that fists are the truth, and he is right now that his fists are big. Then can you stop? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked hastily. You came to trouble me today. If it's so easy to forget, wouldn't I be embarrassed? Hyuga Chen said unhappily. As soon as he came back from the fight, this group of people came to block the door and added a charge of stealing the sealed book to him, which made Hyuga-chan very upset. If he wants the sealed book, does he still need to steal it? Go straight to whoever can stop him. Chen. Huh. Hyuga Chen looked at Ueno Shuri who was coming, his face stunned, and then said, Ueno-sensei, why are you here? Then Hyuga Chen reacted, this should be the third generation invited to persuade him. Hey, Chen, you have the strength you have now, and the teacher is also pleased. I also want to not interfere in your choice of teacher, but you also grew up in Konoha after all, do you have to destroy Konoha? Ueno Shuri sighed. Hyuga Chen was silent for a moment. Ueno Shuri was really good to him at the beginning, not to mention he never thought of destroying Konoha. Konoha had no hatred with him, but Danzo and Sarutobi Hiruzen had hatred. And it wasn't that Hyuga-chan hated them, but they hated Hyuga-chan. Since you all invited Ueno-sensei out, I naturally want to show Ueno-sensei's face. Hyuga Chen gave Sarutobi Hiruzen a deep look. Let's go. Hyuga Chen sealed the bodies of Otsutsuki Hamura and Uchiha Chingchung in the sealed scroll, and said to Tsunade and the others. Tsunade and the others nodded and left Konoha with Hyuga Tatsu without any lingering. Just let them go, Danzo said reluctantly. Dozens of people died from his roots, and that's all for now. Who is his opponent? You. Sarutobi Hiruzen asked Danzo with a glance. I'm going to trouble Ueno-sensei this time. Sarutobi Hiruzen turned to Ueno Shuri and said, if it weren't for Ueno Shuri, with Hyuga Chen's character, Konoha wouldn't know how many people would die. Alas. Ueno Shuri sighed and shook his head, without saying anything, until after Hyuga Chen and the others disappeared, Ueno Shuri turned around and left lonely. Hyuga-chan, Uchiha Makoto, Uzumaki Kushina, Konan. Alas. And Senju Tsunade defected to Konoha, you go to the underground black market to release the task. As long as someone can kill them, a bounty of 1 billion taels will be offered. After thinking about it, Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered. He didn't ask Anbu to hunt him down, because it was all about delivering food to Hyuga-chen, and he didn't even think about killing Hyuga-chen when he released the bounty quest, but to cause him some trouble. It's just that I'm still angry, and I want to be disgusted by Hyuga-chen. If Hyuga-chen knew that he had just stepped out of the village, Sarutobi Hiruzen would send someone to the underground black market to issue a bounty and find trouble with him, and he would definitely go back and kill Sarutobi Hiruzen. Young master, as soon as I let you go, you will make trouble for me. The fact that Hyuga-chen became missing nin caused a great disturbance in the entire ninja world, and Onoki, the third generation of Reikage, and the third generation of Kazekage all laughed out loud. If it wasn't for the war just now, and the losses in each village were not small, they would start a war again and overthrow Konoha together. Chen, where are we going? Kushina asked. I don't have a purpose either. Let's go to various countries first. It doesn't matter where I go. Hyuga-chen shook his head and said, but he must go to the land of water, where there are the 3-tailed and 6-tailed chakras he wants. Now he is only missing the chakra of the 3rd and 6th tails. As long as he gets it, he can try to step into the 6 paths level, and his strength will usher in another explosive growth. Then let's go to the land of thunder. I heard that when Izumi there is very good. Makoto suggested. Okay, then we'll set off for the land of thunder. Hyuga-chen nodded and determined the route. Greedy is human nature, and it is also one of the original sins. I really don't understand why you are sending 1.3 deaths one after another. Hyuga-chen looked at the corpse lying on the ground and said lightly. The guys from Konoha are really abominable. They actually offered us a reward in the underground black market. I really want to go back and punch them to death. Kushina said angrily. This is not the first time they have encountered an attack. Countless ninjas who think they are strong, coveting the billions of money, have come one after another to attack Hyuga-chen and the others. What kind of traps, poisoning, assassination, there are all kinds of methods, and they are endless, and Hyuga-chen and the others are annoying. Just train Conan. It is because of them that Conan's strength can grow so fast. Hyuga-chen reached out and stroked Conan's head. Conan narrowed his eyes, enjoying Hyuga-chen's caressing. Makoto, Tsunade's sister, there is a small town ahead, let's speed up and go over there. Let's see what fun things are in this town. Kushina pointed to the town ahead. Chapter 131 Bubble Temperature Izumi. In the dark and cold tunnel with no sunlight, a giant humanoid statue with 9 eyes like dead wood stood. Although it looks like dead wood, it contains an indescribably huge vitality, which is Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, the original form of the 10 tails who were pulled from the chakra. White Zetsu, what's going on in the ninja world now? Uchiha Madara, who is sitting cross-legged in front of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, asked indifferently, a pair of 3 Tomo Sharingan blooming with a strange light. At this time Uchiha Madara was not old enough to live on the life force of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. Sir Madara, Hyuga-chen, who you have made me pay attention to, defected, and 2 pairs of eternal Mangekyo Sharingan appeared in the ninja world. 1 pair belonged to Hyuga-chen's little girlfriend, and the other pair also fell into the hands of Hyuga-chen. White Zetsu said with a stern face. He didn't dare to make trouble in front of Uchiha Madara. Oh, is it? Uchiha Madara stared at White Zetsu lightly. A pair of 3 Tomo Sharingan released endless pressure. No, that's right. It's so much better. It's not that simple to complete the Moon Eyes plan. After I die, I still need a chess piece to help me fill in the loopholes in the plan. Hyuga-chen's strength is not bad, so it's a good choice. As for Mangekyo Sharingan, under the eyes of the gods Rinnegan, there is nothing to be afraid of. Uchiha Madara whispered. Madara-sama, will Hyuga-chen's strength be too strong, in case? You mean, I can't hold back a kid? Uchiha Madara's cold voice interrupted White Zetsu. No, that's not what I mean. Madara-sama's strength can naturally suppress that kid, but what if the other party has a different heart in the future, who can suppress the other party when Madara-sama is not there? White Zetsu said nervously. After hearing this, Uchiha Madara closed his eyes and pondered. In fact, he did not know Hyuga-chen's strength very well. When Hyuga-chen is not famous, Uchiha Madara will definitely not pay attention to the little person Hyuga-chen. When Hyuga-chen's murderous name spread throughout the ninja world, White Zetsu couldn't get close to Hyuga-chen at all. Every time he approached Hyuga-chen and listened to his information, he would be struck to death by inexplicable lightning. So about Hyuga-chen's strength, Uchiha Madara is just hearsay. However, Uchiha Madara still understands that Hyuga-chen killed 7,000 ninjas with one blow, and also killed the eight-tailed bull ghost. According to Uchiha Madara's assessment, Hyuga-chen's strength is at least beyond cage level. If this kind of person has other thoughts, his clan may really be in trouble. See him first, and see if he lives up to his name or just has a false name. White Zetsu, you are in charge of finding out the exact location of Hyuga-chen, and I want to personally meet this famous brat. After thinking for a long time, Uchiha Madara said to White Zetsu. Lord Madara actually dispatched himself. That's really an honor for the other party. White Zetsu flattered. White Zetsu, don't underestimate the other party. It is easy to be famous in the ninja world, to deter major villages, and to detect your whereabouts. Uchiha Madara warned. Hyuga-chen is not easy, even in front of Madara-sama, I can't make waves. HMPH, no one is my opponent except Hashirama. At this time, the aging Uchiha Madara showed a domineering arrogance that made White Zetsu bend over. Uchiha Madara is definitely the most domineering person in Hokage, and no one can compare to Uchiha Madara. You go. After you find Hyuga-chen, come and report to me. Uchiha Madara waved White Zetsu back. Yes. White Zetsu nodded, then used the mayfly technique to leave, dispatching a large number of clones to find Hyuga-chen's movements. Hyuga-chen, let me see if your abilities are up to the standard. Tomo Sharingan flashed a bit of strangeness, then closed his eyes. Hyuga-chen didn't know that Uchiha Madara was staring at him. At this time, Hyuga-chen was lying in Wen Izumi, listening to the laughter next door, with a depressed look on his face. Damn Kushina, actually drove me here. Hyuga-chen complained angrily. Alas, Tensagan's ability to see through is really useless. He can only see chakras and meridians, and he can't see the scene at all. Otherwise, you can enjoy the beautiful scenery at this time. Hyuga-chen sighed. Sister Tsunade, why are you so big, so enviable? No, I want to pinch it. Kushina, you little pervert, quickly take your hands away from me, or I'll get angry. Sister Tsunade, do you have any secrets? How can you grow so big? That big pervert Seng stares at her all day long. Damn Makoto, he actually called me a big pervert. I must train her well so that she can understand the majesty of Hukun. Hyuga-chen next door looked depressed. Looking down at his little brother, Jinchuriki column, he wailed in his heart, especially listening to Makoto and the others playing next door. Hyuga-chen really was about to evolve into a pervert. Enough of you guys, if it goes on like this, I'll go over and clean you up. Hyuga-chen shouted loudly. You big pervert, come here if you have the ability. I'm afraid you have a heart but no guts. Kushina shouted. Kushina, don't irritate him. If that big pervert really comes over, don't cry. Tsunade said, taking Kushina's hand. What are you afraid of? Even if he does come here, so what? Kushina Tsunade said with a snort. Really, what do you think I should do? Hyuga-chen's voice came from behind Kushina. Ah! Kushina shouted loudly, then quickly wrapped the bath towel, and then submerged in the water, only showing a head. You big pervert, 013 actually dares to come here. Didn't you call me here? Are you happy that I'm here now? Hyuga-chen stretched out his arms to hug Kushina, his palms reaching towards Kushina's peak unconsciously. Originally, Izumi's face was splattered by Yuhi's, but now it's Yuhi's blood. Feeling Hyuga-chan's hand that was making trouble on her body, and Tsunade's half-smiley eyes, Kushina wanted to find a slit to get in. Are you envious of Tsunade? Do you want me to help you grow bigger? Hyuga-chan lowered his head and whispered in Kushina's ear. The strong heat made Kushina's cheeks red. You hurry up and drive for me, or I. Didn't you say that I have a heart and no guts? Now I'll show you my guts. The smile on Hyuga-chan's face became brighter and brighter. 0000 Makoto, come to me. Kushina asked Makoto for help. Do you want to come with Makoto too? Hyuga-chan looked at Makoto. Forget it. Makoto shook his head with a face like Yuhi's. If Hyuga-chan did the same to her, she wouldn't be ashamed. Makoto hid in the corner in fright. Tsunade saw Hyuga-chan's eyes looking at her, especially at her chest. The fiery eyes made her almost melt, and he quickly fled to the corner like Makoto. And Conan was already sitting in the corner with a face like Yuhi's. Chapter 132 Shopping Benefits. Chen, I was wrong, please let me go. Kushina turned her head and looked at Hyuga-chen pitifully. Seeing Kushina's expression on the verge of crying, Hyuga-chen let go of her and looked at Tsunade and Makoto. What are you looking at me for? Hyuga-chen's wolf-like gaze made Tsunade feel uncomfortable. I'm not looking at you, I'm looking at the mountain, looking at the ridge and the peak. It's really a beautiful mountain. Hyuga-chen said with bright eyes. Tsunade's face was ashamed of Yuhi, the metaphor was so obvious, couldn't she hear it? He reached out and grabbed a handful of water and poured it at Hyuga-chen. Dare to treat your husband like that, let's see how I deal with you. Hyuga-chen randomly found a reason, then rushed towards Tsunade and pushed Tsunade into the Wen-Izumi pool. Hyuga-chen took advantage of it all, making all the girls jealous, especially Hyuga-chen's smug look on his face, which made him want to beat him. At Wen-Izumi Hotel for one night, they left Wen-Izumi Hotel early in the morning and came to the bustling snack street. It tastes so good. Although it can't be compared to Makoto's, it's still unique when you eat it once in a while. Kushina said with octopus balls in one hand and tenrafu in the other. Hyuga-chen and Tsunade had already eaten with their mouths bulging, and only Makoto and Conan were still chewing slowly as a lady. It's really not bad, I'll try the sushi here later. Hyuga-chen swallowed the food in his mouth and said. Go shopping for clothes first. I think the clothes here are pretty good, they look good, Kushina said excitedly. I think it's better to gamble. Just now I seem to have seen a casino, just to make money from our clothes. Tsunade said with glowing eyes. Hyuga-chen silently looked at this big-breasted girl with no self-knowledge. They had already lost hundreds of millions along the way. Fortunately, when Hyuga-chen left Konoha, he emptied all the money in Konoha's financial treasury. There were hundreds of billions, which was enough. Otherwise, Hyuga-chen would have to run around for the money. Hyuga-chen is not a person who likes to suffer. Konoha swallowed him billions, although he said he didn't want it on the surface, but he has already taken it back 1,000 times in secret, and he even got the sealed book. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others said that he stole the sealed book and Konoha's money, if he didn't do it, wouldn't he be framed? So Hyuga-chan had to really steal it in order not to be framed. I just don't know if Sarutobi Hiruzen is crying and fainting in the toilet now. In fact, Sarutobi Hiruzen is really crying now. The money that Hyuga-chen stole is the money that supports Konoha's operation. After losing the money now, Konoha is not as serious as being paralyzed, but now there are problems everywhere. Hospitals, schools, and various special departments are all reaching out to Sarutobi Hiruzen for money. And Sarutobi Hiruzen can only hold the property of the Sarutobi family, and then go to the daimyo of the Land of Fire to ask for money. This Hyuga-chen doesn't know, he is now following behind Makoto and them, carrying bags for them. The girls in this world are also a ferocious group when they go shopping. Hyuga-chen followed behind, with all kinds of gift boxes hanging all over their bodies. Hyuga-chan originally wanted to throw it into his own space, but Kushina refused to let it, and insisted that Hyuga-chan hang on her body to show her achievements. Who made Kushina his girlfriend? I can only tolerate her little willfulness. It wasn't until evening when Makoto and the others finished shopping, leaving Hyuga-chan alone. Looking at the girls who were still discussing clothes lively, Hyuga-chan reached out and wiped off the sweat that didn't exist, feeling a bit tired. This kind of exhaustion is not physical exhaustion, nor mental exhaustion, but mental exhaustion. Feels more tiring than fighting against a 6 paths level person. Anyway, Hyuga-chan doesn't want to do it again. Let's go shopping again tomorrow. There are still many stores that we haven't visited yet. Tsunade said excitedly. I'm down. Hyuga-chan lay down on the tatami, and his heart was full of despair. Now he really wanted to find a 6 paths level person to fight and vent his inner anguish. I think it's better to gamble. Shopping is too boring. Hyuga-chan got up and said. He would rather watch Tsunade lose money than watch the girls pick clothes one by one, and not buy one after a long time. When you can't go to gambling, let's go shopping. Hyuga-chan stared at Tsunade dumbfounded. This is what Tsunade, who is addicted to gambling, said. Could it be that Tsunade forgot to take medicine today? When did you change your child? Hyuga-chan asked in astonishment. I feel it's cool to bargain with others, even better than gambling. Wouldn't you like it if I don't gamble? I'm happy to be a fart. Hyuga-chan muttered in a low voice. Hyuga-chan's voice was very low, and he didn't want the girls to hear it, otherwise he would be attacked again. Lovely Conan, I'll take you to play tomorrow. Shall we not go shopping with Makoto and the others? Hyuga-chan said while pulling Conan aside. Are you going to play with my brother? But I have already agreed with Tsunade and the others that we will go shopping together tomorrow. Sorry brother Chen. Conan shook his head sadly. Then I'll be alone tomorrow. Hyuga-chan said depressedly. Hey, isn't brother with us? Conan's voice rose slightly, allowing Tsunade, Makoto, and Kushina not far away to hear them all. No, you have to go. That's right, we're going to find someone to carry the bag. Chen, come with us, there will be benefits tomorrow night. Makoto said with a smile. Hyugatatsu, who had been staring at Conan depressedly, her ears pricked up, and she instantly appeared in front of Makoto. Then grabbed Makoto's arm and asked excitedly, what benefits? You won't know until tomorrow night, so I'll ask you if you're going shopping with us. Go, go, go. Of course I'm going, it's my duty to go shopping with my girlfriend. Hyuga-chan said sternly. But what Hyuga-chan didn't see was the dark smile on Makoto's face, otherwise he wouldn't be so excited. Early the next morning, Hyuga-chan was pulled up by the girls and began to go shopping with them. From morning to evening, Hyuga-chan was dizzy. As soon as he got back to the hotel, Hyuga-chan immediately came back to life with blood and ran to Makoto. Makoto, what about the benefits you promised? I don't know what it is, I've been looking forward to it all day, don't let me down. Hyuga-chan looked at Makoto expectantly. Hey, this motherfucker is a gift for you, you have to cherish it. Makoto snickered twice. Looking at Mengmeng's cute Kata, Hyuga-chan lowered his head depressedly, and after a while, he raised his head and looked at Makoto with a fierce look. It's not that easy to default on a debt. Hyuga-chan reached out and grabbed Makoto, and then kissed Makoto's pink lips. After a long time, they separated and pulled out a silver thread. Makoto's cheeks were very open to Yuhi, and she fell softly into Hyuga-chan's arms. Chapter 133 Goodbye Yao. Chen, Makoto, what are you two doing? Aren't you stealing food? Tsunade came over, looked at Makoto who was lying softly in Hyuga-chan's arms, his cheeks flushed with Yuhi, and said suspiciously. No, no. Makoto hurriedly got up from Hyuga-chan's arms, shaking his head in a frantic denial. Tisk tisk, I'm just joking. Seeing how flustered you are now, it looks like you're really stealing food. I'm going to crusade you with Kushina, Tsunade said jokingly. Makoto wanted to cry without tears, and looked at Hyuga-chen resentfully. It's all your fault. How can you blame me? I'm just taking back the benefits that belong to me. Hyuga-chen showed a smug smile on his face. Humph, I'm going to cook. Makoto snorted at Hyuga-chen, and went to prepare the meal. Used to the food cooked by Makoto, and I am not used to the food at the hotel, so I have to work hard for Makoto to cook. After staying in this town for a few days, Hyuga-chen and the others continued to set off. The environment of the Land of Thunder was not bad, at least dozens of times better than the Land of Wind. What a high mountain! Conan exclaimed, looking at the towering mountain. There are huge chakra fluctuations in front. The chakra is very huge, it will definitely not be lower than me. Tsunade stared ahead of 190. Hyuga-chen sensed the familiar chakra with a smile on his face, and said to the girls, let's go. Go ahead with me to meet an old friend. Old friends. Tsunade and the girls looked at question marks. Why didn't they hear that Hyuga-chen had any old friends? Hyuga-chen, who was walking in front, Tsunade and the others didn't think about it anymore, and hurried to catch up. What kind of friend is he? Could it be a girl friend? Kushina looked at Hyuga-chen suspiciously. Walking so fast, shouldn't he be in a hurry to meet his old friend? Hyuga-chen lightly tapped Kushina on the head. I saw a fart girlfriend. It's an 8-tailed bull ghost. I killed it before. I didn't expect it to come back to life after only 5 or 6 years. Hyuga-chen didn't expect that Yahweh was resurrected so quickly. He thought it would take at least 10 years to be resurrected. What kind of old friend is this? This is an old enemy. Kushina complained, there won't be a fight this time. Soon Hyuga-chen and the others saw the tall figure of the 8 tails. After seeing the 8 tails, the girls only wanted to say one word, that is ugly. Brother, this is Yahweh, who is second only to Kyubi, 9 tails, in strength. How can he look so ugly? Conan said, pulling on Hyuga-chan's sleeve. Who said I was ugly? Yao, who was sleeping on his stomach, immediately got up and looked at Hyuga-chen and the others. Seeing Hyuga-chen, Yao's pupils shrank and his body shuddered. It's you. Yahweh looked at Hyuga-chen with Yuhi's eyes. The enemy met Yuhi with special eyes, and Hyuga-chen was its life and death enemy. I sensed your chakra, so I came to see you specially. I didn't expect you to live a good life now. Should I thank me for helping you get out of the cage? Hyuga-chen said with a smile. 8 tails are furious, thank you. I thank your grandma's legs. Looking at your appearance, do you want to discuss with me? 8 tails woke up after hearing this, then turned around and ran into the distance. She had just been blinded by hatred, but now she has reacted, and hurriedly turned around and ran. Hachio, who has already died once, doesn't want to experience death anymore. Now, thinking about the experience when he died, Hachio is still shaking. I kindly came to see you, but you turned around and ran away. It's so rude, come back to me. Hyuga-chen used Bansho Tenon, universal pull, to pull the huge 8-tailed back. What do you want? 8 tails looked like she wanted to cry. Could it be that after being resurrected, she was going to die again? Looking at your sad face, it makes me feel like I'm going to kill you. Don't worry. I won't kill you this time, I just want to ask you a question. What's the problem? Yao looked at Hyuga-chen suspiciously. I want to know Otsutsuki Hagoromo, where is he now? Hyuga-chen stared at Yao with sharp eyes. What? How did you know the name Otsutsuki Hagoromo? Yao couldn't care about Hyuga-chen's eyes like a blade now, and looked at Hyuga-chen in shock. Know the 6 paths immortals, but very few people who know Otsutsuki Hagoromo. You don't care how I know, I just want to know if he is dead or not, and if he is not dead, where is he now? Hyuga-chen said impatiently. Should be dead, Yao said after thinking for a while. What does it mean to die? To die is to die, and to die is to die. Our tailed beast saw the old man of 6 paths sit down with our own eyes, but the old man of 6 paths is very powerful, and I don't know if he is dead or not. Seeing how Hyuga-chen was about to hit someone, Yao said quickly. The old guy Otsutsuki Hagoromo is definitely not dead. He just doesn't know where to hide. If I find him, I will kill him with a knife. Hyuga-chan's vicious look made Yao startled. Otsutsuki Hamura is not dead, let alone Otsutsuki Hagoromo, but Hyuga-chan didn't get all the memories of Otsutsuki Hamura, otherwise he might know the whereabouts of Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Hyuga-chan was a little disappointed that he didn't get information about Otsutsuki Hagoromo from Yao. If he knows the exact location of Otsutsuki Hagoromo, he can kill him and kill Otsutsuki Hagoromo. Although there is no hatred between Hyuga Tatsu and Otsutsuki Hagoromo, just like Sarutobi Hiruzen wants to trouble Hyuga Tatsu, he thinks Hyuga Tatsu is an unsettling factor for Konoha and is the object Sarutobi Hiruzen wants to cut off. And Otsutsuki Hagoromo is the unsettling factor in Hyuga-chan's eyes, like a ticking time bomb. I don't know when it may come out to cloud you. Although Otsutsuki Hagoromo looks like a good person, Hyuga Tatsu is not a good person. So no matter whether Otsutsuki Hagoromo is good or bad, the two of them are destined to stand on opposite sides. Can I go? Hachio asked cautiously. The dignified-tailed beast has now been reduced to a low-ranking one. Thinking about the 8 tails makes me feel sad, but in the face of the master who wants to trouble the old 6 paths, the 8 tails naturally dare not provoke them. You go first. Hyuga Tatsu waved to Yao and let him go. With the honor of the 8 tails, he doesn't even have the qualifications to be a Hyuga-chan psychic beast, such an ugly guy, no matter how strong Hyuga-chan is. After hearing it, Yao quickly fled into the distance, and the speed was frightening. This big octopus runs very fast. What big octopus? It's obviously a cow. Kushina, your eyes are so bad. It's obviously an octopus. Look at its octopus tentacles, isn't it an octopus? It still has a bull's head. This is obviously a hybrid, why are you arguing about it? And it's a tailed beast, not an ordinary animal. Hyuga-chan looked at Tsunade and Kushina speechlessly. Chapter 134 To the Land of Water. Otsutsuki Hagoromo, 6 paths old man, is Otsutsuki Hagoromo the 6 paths fairy? Tsunade asked Hyuga-chan. Yes, Otsutsuki Hagoromo is the 6 paths immortal. Hyuga-chan nodded. Isn't the 6 paths immortal a legend? Makoto asked suspiciously. Whoever stipulates that legends can't really exist, just like the first Hokage and Uchiha Madara, isn't it a legend now? Hyuga-chen chuckled. Senju Hashirama, the god of ninja world, but Uchiha Madara knows a few. In a few decades, no one knows about Senju Hashirama. At most, they know one name. Did you say it? But the 6 paths immortal is a character from 1,000 years ago, and it has long since turned into a cup of Lois. Until you reach that level, you will never know the power of that level. In fact, I can immortalize you now. Really or not, you're not deceiving us. Tsunade looked at Hyuga-chen suspiciously. You'll know then, Hyuga-chen said with a shrug. Let's go to the land of water first. Let's get the chakras of the 3 and 6 tails first. Aren't you visiting the land of thunder? In the kingdom of thunder, apart from Wen Izumi and Gaoshin, there is nothing to see, and the scenery is not as beautiful as the country of fire. Okay, you have the final say, everything is up to you. Tsunade spread his hands and said, since Hyuga-chan said to go to the land of water, then go to the land of water. It just so happens that they are also in the coastal area now, and they can go directly to the country of water by boat. After renting a luxury boat, they start to set out for the country of water. The country of thunder is not too far from the country of water, and it takes more than 10 days to arrive by boat. Going to the land of water. Uchiha Madara showed a smile at the corner of his mouth. That's right, Madara-sama, it took me a lot of time to find out. White Zetsu asked for credit. Then go to the land of water, it's time for my old body to exercise. Uchiha Madara stood up and said. Madara-sama, you don't have Rinnegan now, can you take down that kid Hyuga-chen? White Zetsu asked worriedly. Although Uchiha Madara did not rely on those eyes to eat, but without Rinnegan, Uchiha Madara's strength would have been cut in half at least. Don't worry. Before I handed Rinnegan to that kid Uzumaki Nagato, I had saved my pupil power and sealed it in this pair of 3 Tomo Sharingan, so I won't have any problem with that kid Hyuga-chen. Uchiha Madara said confidently. Perhaps because of the reason that he never met an opponent other than Senju Hashirama. After Senju Hashirama's death, Uchiha Madara was also a little too confident, thinking that no one was his opponent. Where's Uzumaki? Let him go with me. After thinking about it, Uchiha Madara decided to be safe. Uzumaki is definitely the strongest fighting force among the White Zetsu, and he can also help him. The other White Zetsu are a group of rookies, that is, they are used to detect intelligence and deal with the little minions. Is Madara-sama calling me? Uzumaki appeared behind Uchiha Madara with a smile. The next time you dare to appear behind me, I do not guarantee that you will be alive. Uchiha Madara said in an icy voice. It's so scary. Madara-sama, you can't kill me, I still have to work for you. Otherwise, if you are killed by that kid Hyuga-chen, who will help you collect your body? Uzumaki hugged Uchiha Madara's leg and cried bitterly snot. The corners of Uchiha Madara's mouth twitched. If it weren't for the use of watching Uzumaki, he would have killed him long ago. Uchiha Madara kicked Uzumaki away with one kick, and then said coldly, "Get ready to leave with me." Seeing that Uchiha Madara was about to get angry, Uzumaki never dared to provoke him, and followed behind Uchiha Madara like a good baby. With the second hand Uzumaki, Uchiha Madara left this deep and dark underground cave and headed for the land of water. Madara is so strong, it is naturally impossible to choose to go to the land of water by boat, so Uchiha Madara stepped on the number 11 bus and galloped on the sea. Uzumaki, who followed behind Uchiha Madara, began to complain incessantly. Obviously there is a big ship, why do we have to run? I'm so tired, I don't want to run anymore, I want to rest. If you dare to say another word, I will bury you in the sea. Uchiha Madara turned her head, her eyes were cold. Uzumaki shut his mouth quickly. Don't look at Uchiha Madara running to the country of water, but the speed is not slow, and he arrived at the country of water in 3 days. But after Uchiha Madara arrived, they could only wait. Hyuga-chen and the others were still walking on the boat. White Zetsu, how long does it take for Hyuga-chen to reach this island? Uchiha Madara asked indifferently. I'm afraid it will take 7 or 8 days to reach this port. White Zetsu said with a guilty conscience. In other words, I have to wait for him here for 7 or 8 days. Uchiha Madara's voice became colder and colder, making the surrounding air frost. No, that's right. White Zetsu looked at Uchiha Madara in fear. Although he was just a White Zetsu clone, it didn't mean he wouldn't be afraid. Humph. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly, and then began to close her eyes. Uzumaki, absolutely. Clean up all the people around you who are inconvenient. I don't want my identity to be exposed. Madara-sama is so cruel. Not at all. Feeling the killing intent in the air, Uzumaki was no longer forced, and instantly disappeared in place, and began to slaughter the humans on this island. Uzumaki can definitely use Mokuden, wood style. The killing range of Mokuden, wood style, kill a large area with one move. Plus this island is full of ordinary people. In just 1 day, the entire island is completely wiped out. The smell of blood is too strong. You must clean it up. Don't let Kurigakure village find out what's going on here. I don't want to be disturbed by those people in Kurigakure village. Uchiha Madara told Ju. Understood Madara-sama. Collecting corpses was his favorite thing. White Zetsu went to clean up the corpse, and Uzumaki was definitely boring counting ants, going to the beach to play with crabs from time to time. No, Madara-sama, what if these ants and crabs also know your identity? Do you want me to kill them all? Uzumaki ran over and said in a panic. Uchiha Madara had a hashtag on his forehead. How could he create such a thing? 2 more than Senju Hashirama. Get out of here. Uchiha Madara kicked him away and fell into the sea. Why are you so fierce? No wonder you don't have a wife, Uzumaki said, crawling out of the sea. Suddenly Uzumaki felt ultimate-s killing intent, and then he hurriedly flashed to the side, the gleaming scythe flying over his body. Uzumaki quickly hid away and looked at Uchiha Madara with a frightened expression. Chapter 135 Hyuga-chen vs Uchiha Madara. Is this the land of water? Kushina looked at the islands in front of her and looked at the surrounding islands curiously. Is it similar to the country of Vortex? After watching it for a while, Kushina lost interest. After arriving on the island, you will be able to see the difference, and there are distinguished guests on the island to welcome us, which is a great honor. Hyuga-chen looked at the island with his eyes. In Hyuga-chen's Tenseigan, you can clearly see Uchiha Madara sitting on the dock, and Uzumaki with Uzumaki's face mask next to him. If I hadn't known that Obito was only 1 or 2 years old, Hyuga-chen would have thought that Obito was here too. Ship quickly docked, Hyuga-chen disembarked with several women, and then walked towards Uchiha Madara, who was sitting with his eyes closed. I don't know how to get a stool, so I just sit on the ground. I'm not very particular about it. You are very pitiful old man. I'll give you a stool to sit on. Hyuga-chen waved his hand, and several stone stools rose from the ground. Meet Uchiha Madara. Tsunade and the girls also sat down without making a sound, and looked at the old man across from him curiously. While on the boat, Hyuga-chen had already told them the identity of the old man, Uchiha Madara, who was once a taboo in the ninja world and shocked the entire ninja world. When Tsunade first heard it, he couldn't believe it. Wasn't Uchiha Madara killed by his grandfather? How is it possible to be alive now? But this is what Chen said, and Chen didn't have to lie to her, and in the end Tsunade could only accept the fact that Uchiha Madara was still alive. At this time, Tsunade began to feel resentful for his grandfather. His grandfather Senju Hashirama won the Battle of the End Valley, but Uchiha Madara was still alive, but his grandfather died of serious injuries. So when looking at Uchiha Madara, Tsunade couldn't help but feel a little hostile. You don't seem surprised at me at all. Uchiha Madara looked at Hyuga-chen lightly. Why are you surprised? Isn't it just a bad old man who is about to go to the ground? Am I surprised? Hyuga-chen said indifferently. In fact, Hyuga-chen was quite surprised when Uchiha Madara came to look for him. He really didn't expect Uchiha Madara to come to him. Ha ha ha, Madara-sama seems to be despised, people seem to look down on you. Uzumaki said with a big smile. Uchiha Madara glanced at Uzumaki, then looked at Hyuga-chen, and said lightly, let them leave, I have something to talk to you. Although Uchiha Madara's tone was flat, it contained a sense of command. The tone of this command made Hyuga-chen unhappy. Uchiha Madara is a person who thinks highly of himself, isn't it Hyuga-chen? Uchiha Madara did not take Hyuga-chen in his eyes, and Hyuga-chen also did not take Uchiha Madara in his eyes. Just tell me if you have anything. My time is limited, but I don't have time to spend with you old man. Looks like you don't want to talk anymore. Uchiha Madara's expression darkened instantly. In his memory, it was the first time anyone other than his father talked to him like this. I don't have anything to talk about with you, let's go. Hyuga-chen stood up and pulled Tsunade and the others to leave. Little devil, don't think that you can be arrogant in front of me with a little strength, I eat more salt than you eat. Uchiha Madara's slightly angry voice reached Hyuga-chen's ears. Hyuga-chen smiled, then turned around and said, I didn't expect you, Madara, to have such a strong taste that you actually ate so much salt. Xiaosheng admires. Saying that, Hyuga-chen bowed his hands to Uchiha Madara. It seems inevitable that force will be used. Uchiha Madara's Sharingan of orangutan Yuhi stared at Hyuga-chen, his eyes flashing with fighting intent. Facing Hyuga-chen, he could feel the pressure only felt on Hashirama, which made the bellicose Uchiha Madara feel a sense of war in his heart. Chen, can you beat him? Tsunade asked worriedly. The name of a man, the shadow of a tree. Uchiha Madara, who can break into such a big name in the chaotic Sengoku and shock the entire ninja world, is probably very powerful. Although Hyuga-chen has always shown invincible strength, but the opponent is Uchiha Madara, which makes Tsunade not too confident. If we can't beat it, we'll run. Makoto also had a worried expression on her face. As a member of the Uchiha family, she grew up listening to Uchiha Madara's reputation. When facing Uchiha Madara, it was inevitable to be a little timid before the battle. Don't worry, I'm sure you can beat him to be obedient, without the slightest temper. Hyuga-chen comforted. Arrogant and ignorant. Seeing the disdain in Hyuga-chen's eyes and completely disregarding himself, Uchiha Madara was furious. Grabbed the Uchiha fan, and then rushed towards Hyuga-chen, wanting to compete with Hyuga-chen in physique. Uchiha Madara, who was rushing over, Hyuga-chen could only say that he was over his head, and the other Hyuga-chen dared not say so, but when it comes to physique, Hyuga-chen was the first and no one dared to call him the second. What's more, the current Uchiha Madara, half of his body has been buried in the ground, and his physical fitness is not as good as in the heyday. 8 trigrams vacuum palm. Uchiha Madara's pupils shrank, feeling the alarm bell of the crisis in her heart, and subconsciously blocked her with Uchiha's fan. Boom. After a loud bang, Uchiha Madara was knocked out, turned a few times in the air to stabilize her body, and then fell to the ground, releasing her strength by retreating, leaving a series of deep footprints on the ground. Feeling the pain in his arms, Uchiha Madara's face froze slightly, and he found that he seemed to be underestimating the other party. Madara, you are old, you should retire quickly. Otherwise, it will be bad if your legs and feet are broken. I am not someone who respects the old and loves the young. Hyuga-chen said jokingly. HMPH. Such an arrogant kid. Uchiha Madara snorted heavily, her face a little bit uneasy. Lord Madara, teach him a good lesson, but don't take Madara seriously. Uzumaki jumped beside him to cheer for Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara's face was even more ugly, and he glared at Uzumaki, wanting to cut his head with a sickle. 8 trigrams breaking the mountain. Before Uchiha Madara could catch her breath for 3.1 breaths, a huge chakra light hit him. Susanoo. Uchiha Madara didn't dare to be careless, and quickly used Susanoo's third form to defend against the 8 trigrams, but Susanoo was still cracked. 3 Tomo Sharingan can also use Susanoo. Makoto looked at Uchiha Madara in amazement. It's not surprising that Uchiha Madara can use Susanoo, but it's incredible that Santomo Sharingan can also use Susanoo. Hyuga-chen doesn't find it strange at all. Even without eyes, Uchiha Madara can also use Susanoo, and Uchiha Madara's Susanoo has been used superbly. It's me who underestimated you, and I'm going to use all my strength from now on. Uchiha Madara said solemnly. The blue Susanoo grew legs, and then the whole body was covered in armor. With a height of more than 100 meters, the huge coercion oppressed people's hearts. Chapter 136 One Punch to the Sky. In the face of a powerful force, Susanoo's defense is vulnerable. A smile appeared on the corner of Hyuga-chen's mouth, and then disappeared instantly. Gentle Fist Method 8 trigrams 361. Hyuga-chen shouted loudly, and a huge 8 trigrams array shrouded Susanoo in it. The golden chakra flames burned on Hyuga-chen's palm, and his hands turned into afterimages, hitting Susanoo in Uchiha Madara continuously. When Hyuga-chen finished fighting, Uchiha Madara's Susanoo turned into chakra and kept collapsing. Vulnerable, Hyuga-chen said coldly. Chen is so strong, worthy of being my Kushina's man. Kushina's eyes sparkled with stars, and looked at Hyuga-chen with admiration. Tsunade nodded and said, it's my fault that I have to take Uchiha Madara in my eyes. If I had such power, I wouldn't take Uchiha Madara in my eyes. In my heart, Chen has always been the strongest. Makoto smiled softly. That's right. Brother Chen is the god in the Legend 12. No one can beat him. That bad old man is definitely not his opponent. Conan directly calls Uchiha Madara a bad old man. In Conan's heart, anyone who is an enemy of his brother is a bad guy. How is that possible? Uchiha Madara looked at Hyuga-chen in disbelief. How did the gentle fist of the Hyuga family have such a dick? How could he not know? What? I was frightened and stupid, so those who knew each other quickly retreated. I don't want to bear the reputation of bullying the elderly. Ha ha ha. Funny kid, I admit you, but if you want to scare me, you're not up to it. Uchiha Madara laughed majestically and straightened her slightly hunched body. Susanoo. Uchiha Madara used Susanoo again, then drew his sword and slashed at Hyuga-chen. Makoto hurriedly used Susanoo to shield Kushina, Tsunade and Conan before dodging to avoid Uchiha Madara Susanoo's blade. Rock escape, rock giant. Hyuga-chen said with hand seal with both hands. The huge rock giant blocked Susanoo's blade, but his body was chopped off in half, but he recovered in just a moment. Is it the same ninjutsu as wood golem jutsu? Uchiha Madara's eyes narrowed. This rock giant is similar to Hashirama's wood golem jutsu, only with wood replaced by rock. Lord Madara, I'll help you. Uzumaki jumped out and said. No need, can't I get a kid? How proud Uchiha Madara is, how can he allow him to besiege one person, and the other party is only a 15 or 16-year-old kid? Okay, Uzumaki said, curling his lips, as long as Madara-sama doesn't get beaten, it's fine to kneel down and beg for mercy. Uchiha Madara had no time to talk to Uzumaki, and now he was focused on fighting the rock giants of Hyuga-chen. The rock giant turned his hands into sharp knives and kept slashing towards Susanoo. Every blow was extremely heavy, causing Susanoo to retreat again and again. In addition, rock bullets continued to be sprayed from his chest, and Susanoo's armor jingled. Uchiha Madara was beaten back and forth, his face was extremely ugly, and he was actually suppressed. Although the rock giant's speed is not as fast as Susanoo, but its strength is above Susanoo, relying on powerful strength to continuously suppress Uchiha Madara's Susanoo. Although Uchiha Madara seized the opportunity and controlled Susanoo to slash the rock giant a few times, the damage was healed in an instant, giving Uchiha Madara a very headache. It's more a headache than Hashirama's wood golem jutsu, really hateful. Uchiha Madara's eyes were fixed on the rock giant, and Kiba tickled with hatred. If the rock giant has no self-healing ability, it is definitely not the opponent of Susanoo, but with self-healing ability, it is pervert. It's all about swapping injuries. Susanoo of Uchiha Madara and Uchiha Madara are hard-hearted. They are not afraid of being broken, and they can be restored in an instant. Uchiha Madara continued to consume chakra, repairing Susanoo's scars, and his face became more and more ugly. Although his chakra is comparable to Kyuubi, Ninetales, he is not afraid to consume chakra, but it is meaningless to fight like this. It's impossible to take down the opponent at all. You can't go on like this, or you'll be seen as a joke. Uchiha Madara is not going to stand still like this, there is no point. Uchiha Madara held the hand seal with both hands, and his Susanoo, 4 hands followed the hand seal. After the hand seal was completed, Uchiha Madara shouted, Tengai Shinsei, heavenly obstacle quaking star. Then Uchiha Madara manipulated Susanoo to spread his wings and fly into the sky to avoid the oncoming meteor. Boss Madara, what should I do? Uzumaki stared at the shadow that appeared in the sky with a panicked expression. Was this attacking him together? Damn it, isn't this Rinnegan's ability? Didn't Uchiha Madara give Rinnegan to Uzumaki Nagato? How can it still be used? Hyuga-chan let out a foul language. Tatsu, let's leave too. Makoto controlled Susanoo to spread his wings and fly over, shouting anxiously at Hyuga Tatsu. The meteorite summoned by Uchiha Madara is very large, with a radius of tens of kilometers and a diameter of hundreds of kilometers. In addition to the impact of falling, if it falls, the power is absolutely frightening. No need. It's just a few meteorites, it's trivial. The profound truth of body art. Star destruction. Hyuga-chan clenched his fists tightly, chakra frantically gathered on his fists, and then slammed into the sky with all his strength. A dragon-shaped vacuum shot up into the sky, instantly smashing the meteorite, and then smashed several meteorites that fell down later. In the end, the power of the dragon-shaped Chi-Jin did not diminish at all, punching a big hole in the sky, and the Chi-Jin disappeared into the fragmented space. And Uchiha Madara, who was flying in the sky, was blown away by the gust of wind caused by the star strike, and Susanoo, who had a strong defense, was tattered by the gust of wind. 013 Is this really made by someone? Tsunade looked at the big hole in the sky, which was the hole left by Hyuga Chen's smashing of the space, and it still hasn't healed. This really broke the sky. Kushina opened her mouth, unable to close it for a long time in shock. Just now I thought that the power of Uchiha Madara to summon the meteorite was already the power of God. Now it seems that Chen's blow is the real power of God. Makoto said silently. Brother is really a god, only gods have such power. Uzumaki kept dripping with cold sweat on his forehead. He glanced at Hyuga Chen not far away, and then sneaked away, trying to sneak away quietly. Whoosh whoosh. Several black sticks flew out of Hyuga Chen's hands and pinned Uzumaki to the ground, unable to move. Do you still want to run? Misunderstanding, it's a total misunderstanding. I have nothing to do with that old guy, so please don't trouble me. Uzumaki said without any integrity. If Uchiha Madara hears these words, she will be very angry. You said that, so you're not afraid that Uchiha Madara will kill you? Hyuga Chen asked with a smile. What are you afraid of, anyway? The old guy doesn't know where he is now, and he can't hear it. Uchiha Madara, who had just returned from the flight, had an extremely pale face, and controlled Susanoo to step on it with one foot. Uzumaki was definitely stepped on the ground in an instant, but his vitality was strong and he was not trampled to death. Chapter 137 Great War. Lord Madara, I'm just joking. Uzumaki climbed out and said embarrassingly. Uchiha Madara ignored him, but looked at Hyuga Chen with a very solemn expression. Although he didn't want to admit it, the opponent's strength was probably better than him. If the punch had been thrown at him, Uchiha Madara reckoned that he had turned into ashes. Do you want to continue fighting? Hyuga Chen asked with a smile on his face. You are the only one who can make me use all my strength besides Hashirama. Uchiha Madara said with a slightly condensed expression. Cadent Fire Style, Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation. A wall of flames of more than 50 meters hit Hyuga Chen. Sweden Water Style, Great Waterfall Technique. Quote. The water instantly extinguished the flames and continued to charge towards Uchiha Madara, but after neutralizing the Majestic Destroyer Flame, Great Fire Annihilation, there was not much power anymore, just to give Susanoo a bath. Uzumaki absolutely. Don't stand still, attack with me. At this time, Uchiha Madara didn't want to go head-to-head, he was not the opponent's opponent by himself. Has Madara-sama finally used me? But the opponent seems to be very strong. I think we should escape first. Uzumaki suggested to Uchiha Madara to escape. Don't force me to hack you first. Uchiha Madara looked at Uzumaki with cold eyes. Okay. Mokuden, Wood Style, Wood Golem Jutsu. The trees grew wildly, and finally condensed into the shape of a wooden man. It's actually Mokuden, Wood Style. How can this Uzumaki face use my grandpa's Mokuden, Wood Style? Tsunade looked at the wooden man in the field in shock. But what shocked Tsunade was yet to come. I saw Uchiha Madara used Mokuden, Wood Style, World of Trees wall to instantly create a forest. Then use the arrogant fire to extinguish the arrow, ignite the World of Trees wall, and the boundless fire rushes towards Hyuga Chen, and the overwhelming flames will swallow Hyuga Chen inside. Tsunade was messy in an instant. I didn't expect that Uchiha Madara could also use Mokuden, Wood Style, when Mokuden, Wood Style, was so worthless. Her Senju clan has awakened Mokuden, Wood Style, but Uchiha Madara, the nemesis of the Senju clan, and the Uzumaki face that appeared out of nowhere, use Mokuden, Wood Style, the same as playing, are you kidding me? Tsunade felt like she was getting hit, and Mokuden, wood style, the symbol of her Senju clan, was being used by others, and that hit a lot. Chen, teach them a good lesson. Tsunade yelled at Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen nodded, and then used the Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign to clear the scene in an instant, and all the flame trees were swept away. The power of Rinnegan. Uchiha Madara looked at Hyuga-chen in shock, even more shocked than seeing the physical art that could break the sky. Black Zetsu, who was hiding on Uchiha Madara, was also extremely shocked. He didn't know Tenseigan. Tenseigan opened his eyes after Otsutsuki Hamura moved to the moon. Black Zetsu had never seen it. How could he have the power of Rinnegan? Is it the same spell as Rinnegan's power, or does he really have Rinnegan? Black Zetsu thought to himself. Sharingan can evolve into Mangekyo, and eventually into Rinnegan, why can't Byakugan evolve? Hyuga-chan said softly. But when it reached Uchiha Madara's ears, it was tantamount to thunder on the ground. You actually know that Sharingan can evolve into Rinnegan. This is the most shocking thing for Uchiha Madara. If he hadn't seen the stone tablet left by the Six Paths Immortal, he wouldn't have known that Sharingan could evolve into Rinnegan. As Hyuga Tatsu's eyes the evolution of Byakugan, thought Black Zetsu, who was hiding in Uchiha Madara's body. Sharingan can evolve into Rinnegan, the first of the three pupil arts, but Byakugan can also evolve. ×3. Tsunade, Makoto, and Kushina were surprised. Except for Konan, the three Tsunade daughters actually know Sharingan very well. After all, there is Makoto, the owner of the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. But it was also the first time they heard that the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan can also evolve, and that Byakugan can also evolve, and the news really shocked them. Can Makoto's eyes also evolve into the legendary Eyes of God? Kushina asked suspiciously. I don't know, even if it can evolve, it probably won't be easy. Makoto shook his head and said. It would be great if it could evolve. It could be called the eyes that can create and destroy the world. Tsunade said, looking at Makoto. Are your eyes the evolution of Byakugan? Uchiha Madara asked. That's right. My eyes are the evolution of Byakugan, Tenseigan, the eyes of the same level as Rinnegan, and have been acquired since I was born. Hyuga-chen smiled and looked at Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara scolded her mother for selling out in her heart. I only got Rinnegan after dying. You are born with eyes of the same level as Rinnegan. Uchiha Madara wanted to yell at God for injustice. Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Madara's ugly face and laughed heartily. Although his Tenseigan was developed by the system for him, it didn't stop him from acting forcefully. Then let me see the power of your Tenseigan. Uchiha Madara forcibly suppressed the jealousy and unhappiness in his heart, used Wood Dragon Jutsu, cooperated with Uzumaki's Wood Golem Jutsu, and attacked Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen's rock giant blocks the wooden dragons, preventing them from advancing. No matter how strong this stone giant is, it is driven by chakra. Without chakra, I see what you will do. Uchiha Madara manipulated the wooden dragon to wrap around the rock giant and absorb the rock giant's chakra. After Hyuga-chen saw it, a smile appeared on his face. The chakra of the rock giant was not easy to swallow, it was all composed of natural energy. I saw that after the wood dragon devoured the energy of the rock giant, it was assimilated by the rock giant and turned from wood into rock. Uchiha Madara's expression changed slightly, and he found that he had lost control of the wooden dragon. Roar! The wooden dragon, who had turned into a stone dragon, roared and attacked the wooden figurine, wrapping itself around the wooden figurine, constantly biting the huge wooden figurine. Lord Madara, who are you helping? Uzumaki absolutely complained. Uchiha Madara's face was a little embarrassed, and she was full of confidence just now, but she didn't expect to be slapped in the face instantly, it was very painful. Chibaku Tensei, heavenly body bursting from the earth. Anger, Uchiha Madara folded his hands together, made 3 black chakra balls, and then used Chibaku Tensei, heavenly body bursting from the earth. This time, seeing Uchiha Madara using Chibaku Tensei, heavenly body bursting from the earth, Hyuga-chan was not surprised at all. He had already guessed that Uchiha Madara should have used some means to store the pupil power in this pair of ordinary 3-tomo Sharingan. These techniques should have been released with the power of the pupils left behind, which was the only explanation Hyuga-chan could think of. At this time, the gravitational force of Chibaku Tensei, heavenly body bursting from the earth, has erupted, trees and broken rocks are attracted, and the sea water of the sea is also attracted by gravity. Makoto manipulated Susanoo, barely resisting the huge gravitational force, but the gravitational force is getting bigger and bigger, and Makoto will be unable to hold on sooner or later. Lei Ying, Hyuga-chen shouted softly, and a thundercloud instantly gathered in the air, and then 3 spherical lightning bolts fell together, destroying 3 Chibaku Tensei heavenly body bursting from the earth in an instant. What a powerful Raiden Thunder style that can be released without a hand seal. Uchiha Madara's brows furrowed tightly. Hyuga-chan shrugged and didn't explain to him the difference between Raiden Thunder style and Thunder Fruit. Actually, there wasn't much difference. Chapter 138 Super Enhanced Wood Golem Jutsu. Uchiha Madara's brows furrowed into a ball. He thought it would be easy to take Hyuga-chen, but now that he has all the means, he still can't defeat the opponent, and even himself is in danger. Uzumaki-ju, merge with me, the last fight. Uchiha Madara said in a low voice. If he could win Hyuga-chen with Uzumaki-ju, he could only retreat first. Okay. Uzumaki walked up to Uchiha Madara and merged with Uchiha Madara, which greatly increased Uchiha Madara's power. The second round of battle now officially begins. You have to fight, Madara, your head is really iron. Hyuga-chen disappeared in an instant, then appeared behind Uchiha Madara, and kicked Uchiha Madara into the sky with one kick. Next, Hyuga-chen demonstrated what is called a fancy hanging. I feel that Uchiha Madara is so pitiful. Kushina looked up at the Uchiha Madara who was passively beaten in the sky and had no power to fight back. Damn. Uchiha Madara bit Kiba's teeth, and he wanted to fight back, but the problem was that he couldn't move right now. After Susanoo was used, it was broken instantly, as if it was made of paper. Limbo Border Jail. To hold on, Uchiha Madara can only enlarge the move. Limbo Border Jail is a technique born when Uchiha Madara awakens Rinnegan. 5 shadows with the same power as Uchiha Madara can be born. 273. But because Uchiha Madara doesn't have Rinnegan now, only Rinnegan's pupil power, so he can barely use a shadow. Shadows are immune to all attacks except 6 Paths Sage Art, and can only be seen by those with Rinnegan, and can be perceived by those with 6 Paths Sage Art. However, Hyuga-chen's Tenseigan can also see that in the face of Limbo's shadows attack, Hyuga-chen didn't care at all and kept attacking Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Madara spewed blood, and his body was beaten out of shape. If it weren't for Uchiha Madara's own first-generation cells, plus the powerful resilience provided by Uzumaki, he would have been beaten to death by living. Limbo's shadows attack, under the elementalization of Hyuga-chen, did not cause any damage at all. It actually has the same ability as Limbo's shadow, and is immune to physical attacks. Uchiha Madara was even more troubled. You little mouse is so annoying. Senpo, Sage Art Thunder Recentrican. This is the 6 Paths Senpo, Sage Art formed by Hyuga-chen with his own chakra plus thunder fruit plus natural energy, and instantly extinguishes the shadow formed by Limbo Border Jail. You can actually attack Limbo's shadow. Uchiha Madara, who was able to breathe because Hyuga-chan attacked Limbo's shadow, said in horror. Limbo Border Jail is really powerful, but it can be attacked by 6 Paths Senpo, Sage Art, and even with the power of 6 Paths, it can damage Limbo's shadow. You can actually use 6 Paths Senpo, Sage Art. Uchiha Madara said in astonishment, even he couldn't use 6 Paths Senpo, Sage Art. Uchiha Madara has no natural energy and cannot use 6 Paths Senpo, Sage Art now. Hyuga-chen laughed without saying a word. If it wasn't for Hyuga-chen absorbing Otsutsuki Hamura's chakra, he wouldn't be able to use 6 Paths Senpo, Sage Art. Limbo's shadow was injured, Wouldn't you be injured too? Why are you all right? Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Madara suspiciously. Uchiha Madara's mother sold out. You killed Limbo's shadow. He can't come back now. How could I be injured? Suddenly Uchiha Madara was startled and looked at Hyuga-chen. You actually know Limbo Border Jail so well. Limbo Border Jail is his unique ability. Hyuga-chen actually knows it clearly, which makes Uchiha Madara feel very strange. Hyuga-chen didn't explain it, and he couldn't explain it. Could he say that he knew it when he watched Hokage? Uchiha Madara, you seem to have all the means now, and now you are the lamb to be slaughtered. You said I should kill you. Hyuga-chen condensed the Tiankong cloud sword in his hand and said to Uchiha Madara. Looking at Hyuga-chen with murderous eyes, Uchiha Madara snorted coldly. He is not someone who can easily capture him. Mokuden, wood style, wood golem jutsu. This time, wood golem jutsu is not the same as the previous one. It is the combined power of Uchiha Madara and Uzumaki. More than dozens of Susanoo's big Mokuden, wood style, Buddha appeared, very similar to Senpo, Sage Art Mokuden, wood style, Shinsesenju by Senju Hashirama. This is Grandpa's Mokuden, wood style, Senpo, Sage Art in the records. Tsunade stared dully at the huge Mokuden, wood style, Buddha, and couldn't help but feel worried. In the records of the Senju family, this move has the power to destroy the world, and the Valley of End was played by Shinsesenju. This size is really scary. It seems that few can compare with this big Buddha statue. Hyuga-chen whispered in a low voice. Battle between the moon and Otsutsuki Hamura. That the demonization used by Otsutsuki Hamura was at most half the size of this Buddha statue. I don't know if the slug fairy in Shikatsu Forest has this big Buddha statue. Maybe it should be, or even surpass it. If that's the case, then pull Otsutsuki Hamura out. Hyuga-chen released Otsutsuki Hamura's body, and then ran to Makoto and the others to watch the play together. Can you be a puppet? Tsunade asked worriedly. Don't worry. This Senju Buddha is not as strong as your grandfather. Even if your grandfather uses Mokuden, wood style, Senpo, Sage Art Shinsesenju, he is not my puppet's opponent. Hyuga-chen gestured to Tsunade not to worry. Who is this puppet? There is a Byakugan of the Hyuga family. Kushina asked curiously. Six Paths Immortal's younger brother Otsutsuki Hamura. Hyuga-chen said indifferently. What? It's the younger brother of the Six Paths Immortal. Everyone, including Conan, was shocked. There was another person, let's just say a person, who was also shocked by Otsutsuki Hamura. That is Black Zetsu hidden in Uchiha Madara. Although Otsutsuki Hamura has changed a lot now and no longer looks like when he was young, Black Zetsu still recognizes him. At the beginning, Black Zetsu panicked to death, until he saw that Otsutsuki Hamura didn't have the slightest fluctuation of life. Black Zetsu was relieved. Why is Otsutsuki Hamura here? Didn't he go to the moon? Black Zetsu was very puzzled. No, we must find a way to get Uchiha Madara to leave. Even if Otsutsuki Hamura is just a manipulated corpse, Uchiha Madara is no match. Black Zetsu is in a hurry, and if Uchiha Madara dies, his plans will start all over again. Waiting for over 1,000 years, Black Zetsu didn't want to wait any longer. Whether it is Hyuga-chen or Otsutsuki Hamura, Uchiha Madara is no match. If he continues to fight, Uchiha Madara promises to die. But Black Zetsu couldn't remind Uchiha Madara yet. If he came out on his own, with Uchiha Madara's wisdom, he would not have imagined that there was something tricky. Black Zetsu could only stare anxiously now. Chapter 139. Beat Uchiha Madara. You are looking down on me. Looking at Otsutsuki Hamura in front of him, Uchiha Madara said angrily. Did not know the identity of Otsutsuki Hamura, thought that Hyuga-chen was humiliating him by taking out a dead body. No, in fact, I already look up to you very much. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Even though Otsutsuki Hamura's strength has decreased a lot after becoming a puppet controlled by Hyuga-chen, the essence of the Six Paths class is still there. The current Uchiha Madara is not Otsutsuki Hamura's opponent at all. and Hyuga-chen can also use the power of 6 paths with the help of Otsutsuki Hamura's hand. Of course Hyuga-chen doesn't care about this, his own strength is stronger than 6 paths level, otherwise he wouldn't be able to kill Otsutsuki Hamura. However, the ability of the 6 paths level can also do many things that Hyuga-chen can't do, such as creating life from nothingness, and Gudodama truth-seeking ball which Hyuga-chen can't use casually. If Hyuga-chen wants to use Gudodama truth-seeking ball, he must enter Tenseigen chakra mode. In short, Hyuga-chan's combat power is stronger than that of 6 paths level people, but the understanding and application of yin-yang escape is not comparable to 6 paths level people. 80 Gods Vacuum Attack. Break it for me, Hyuga-chen said flatly. Otsutsuki Hamura immediately used 80 Gods Vacuum Attack, countless huge vacuum fists, and hit the huge wooden Buddha statue. Not good. Uchiha Madara felt a sense of fatal crisis, and quickly controlled the wooden Buddha statue to attack. Countless huge arms, or clenched fists, or waved, collided with 80 Gods Vacuum Attack. Boom! Sky shook and the island shattered, and Makoto flew Susanoo into the air for the first time to avoid the aftermath of the collision. The shock of the aftermath set off huge waves, which drowned towards the surrounding islands. After the smoke dissipated, the huge wooden Buddha statue had turned into wood chips. Uchiha Madara was lying on the ground with difficulty, one eye had been completely closed. At the time of the collision, Uchiha Madara felt a huge crisis of life and death, and subconsciously used Izanagi, the ultimate demonic illusion, to escape this crisis of death. Uchiha Madara, you should know by now. The amount of salt you eat is not necessarily strong. Hyuga-chen walked over and said with a smile. What do you want? Uchiha Madara raised her head, and the only one left was Sharingan staring at Hyuga-chen, trying to see what he was thinking. But he was disappointed. From the time they met, Hyuga-chen had shown a sloppy look, and he is still that sloppy look. Don't you want to talk to me? Keep talking, Hyuga-chen said with a smile. Uchiha Madara looked at Hyuga-chen intently, and found that he could not understand Hyuga-chen a little. This island has been broken into pieces, let's talk about another island. Madara, can you still walk? Humph. Don't underestimate me. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly and stood up with difficulty. That's good, I'll wait for you on the island ahead. Hyuga Tatsu sealed Otsutsuki Hamura in the scroll again, then left instantly and appeared in Makoto's Susanoo. Space ninjutsu, how much power is this kid still not using? Uchiha Madara said unhappily. Fighting with him, the other party has no means to use it all. Is this looking down on him? Uchiha Madara's arrogant heart couldn't take it anymore. Why didn't you kill him? It's boring after killing him, let's go. Let's go to the island ahead and wait for him. Hyuga-chen shook his head, then let Makoto control Susanoo and fly towards the island ahead. Uchiha Madara won't take the opportunity to run away. No, a proud person like Uchiha Madara, he can allow himself to fail, but he will never allow himself to escape. Hyuga-chen shook his head, thinking that Uchiha Madara should not escape, but it doesn't matter if he escapes. Seeing Hyuga-chen and the others leaving, Uzumaki quickly separated from Uchiha Madara, and said anxiously, Lord Madara, let's take the opportunity to escape. The opponent is too strong, we are not opponents, what if he wants to kill us? If I, Uchiha Madara, run away, what does that kid think of me? Uchiha Madara, follow me. Uchiha Madara said arrogantly. Although he lost this battle, Uchiha Madara thinks that this is the reason why he doesn't have Rinnegan. If he has Rinnegan and exerts his full strength, will he still lose? Then I won't go. If Hyuga-chen really kills Madara-sama, I will collect your body later. Uzumaki said with a smirk. Uchiha Madara glanced at him lightly, then grabbed Uzumaki and used Susanoo to fly towards the island ahead. Uzumaki looked at Uchiha Madara with endless resentment. If he could beat Uchiha Madara, he must smash his head and see what was in his head. Obviously not someone's opponent, but you have to be brave to save face. Do you want to save face? Black Zetsu, who is hiding on Uchiha Madara, wanted to curse too. Is this going to kill him? Is Uchiha Madara going to die? Impossible. Even if Hyuga-chen wanted to kill him, he also had the confidence to retreat. This is what Uchiha Madara himself thinks. Came to another island, looking at Hyuga-chen sitting in front, Uchiha Madara walked over and sat opposite Hyuga-chen. The two were speechless and silent. Tsunade and the others sat beside them as a crowd of melon eaters, wondering what they would talk about. After a long time, it was Uchiha Madara who spoke first. Did you think that the world was wrong from the beginning? When the six paths immortal passed chakra to the world, he wanted people to understand each other and achieve peace, but all this was the wrong start. Stop, I don't want to hear you talk about this. Hyuga-chen interrupted Uchiha Madara quickly. Uchiha Madara, who was interrupted, was very upset. Do you want world peace and change the world? I don't want to. Uchiha Madara choked again. This is not according to his routine at all. Why? You also experienced the Second Ninja World War. Don't you hate this kind of chaos? Why do you want peace? Peace has nothing to do with me. I never thought about changing the world. Sometimes existence is the truth, so why bother to change all this? Hyuga-chen said lightly. Uchiha Madara has absolutely no idea how to talk to Hyuga Tatsu. Don't you want to be a god in the world? Controlling all living beings is high. Uchiha Madara saw that talking about peace was useless, and he could only talk about interests. Oh, please start your speech. Hyuga-chen showed an expression of listening intently, wanting to see how Uchiha Madara fooled herself. Next, Uchiha Madara began to tell Hyuga-chen the contents of the stone tablet left by the Six Paths Immortal, and then told him about his plan for the Eye of the Moon. As long as the Eye of the Moon project is completed, we will be the gods who will lead the world and move the world into a new era, and the whole world will usher in true peace, and everyone can get everything they want in their dreams. Uchiha Madara said with a frenzied expression, no different from the leader of an MLM organization. Chapter 140 Threats Uchiha Madara. Humph. False peace, living in a false demonic illusion, that is either deceiving yourself or getting what you want. Tsunade snorted coldly, disapproving of Uchiha Madara's Eye of the Moon plan. What's the difference between this and destroying the world? Makoto said softly. I think it's good. Do you want to cooperate with me? Hyuga-chen said with a smile. That's right. Uchiha Madara nodded, but Uchiha Madara didn't say all about his specific plans. Case Hyuga-chen has a bad idea, his plans will all be nullified. To cooperate with Hyuga-chen is actually to seek skin from a tiger. But now Uchiha Madara is in trouble, and if he doesn't cooperate with Hyuga-chen, his future plans will be more troublesome. At first, Uchiha Madara wanted to find Hyuga-chen as a chess piece, because Hyuga-chen was too strong, and he was afraid that after he died, no one would be able to suppress Hyuga-chen, which led to a flaw in his plan. Originally, he planned to use it if he could, and remove Hyuga-chen if he couldn't, but he didn't expect Hyuga-chen to be stronger than he imagined. A result, the current Uchiha Madara must cooperate with Hyuga-chen, instead of using Hyuga-chen as a pawn, or turning away, or Uchiha Madara is afraid that Hyuga-chen will dig Nagato's Rinnegan one day. If Nagato loses Rinnegan, all Uchiha Madara's plans fall apart. You mean you agreed to cooperate with me? A smile appeared on Uchiha Madara's face, and he was afraid that Hyuga-chen would refuse. If Hyuga-chen doesn't agree with his plan, Uchiha Madara doesn't know what will happen. He is walking a tightrope right now, and he will fall into the abyss if he is not careful. The key point is that he walked up the tightrope himself. He couldn't even come down. The path he chose was to walk on his knees with tears in his eyes. It's not impossible to work with you to complete the Moon Eye project together, but I want to see your sincerity first. Hyuga-chen said with Erlang's legs crossed and his fingers tapped on the table. Uchiha Madara's face darkened, and he asked in a low voice, what kind of sincerity do you want? Sanwei and Luwei, you help me bring Sanwei and Luwei here, let me see your sincerity, so that we can discuss the next cooperation. Hyuga-chen said softly. Are you taking me as an errand? Don't go too far. Uchiha Madara's face was warm and angry. I know where Rinnegan is, the land of rain, the kid with Yuhi's hair, although the circle eyes are not very good looking, but the pupil power is not bad. Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Madara jokingly. Uchiha Madara's face was as gloomy as water. You are threatening me, Uchiha Madara said furiously. Threatening you? Yes, I'm threatening you. What can you do? Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Madara with a sneer. Uchiha Madara clenched his fists tightly. It was the first time he was so angry. Even when the people of the Uchiha family abandoned him as the patriarch, he was not so angry. You have to know that the master initiative is me, not you. Hyuga-chen ignored Uchiha Madara's angry face and said lightly. If you don't agree, you can leave immediately. At that time, you will have to say goodbye to some things. You were the first to threaten me. Really? Hyuga-chen looked surprised, and then said with a little excitement, then this is really my honor. Uzumaki stood beside him, looking at the threatened Uchiha Madara. His heart was filled with relief, and he couldn't help but be happy when he saw Uchiha Madara deflated. The past, he might have laughed at Uchiha Madara, but now that Hyuga-chen was here, he didn't dare to speak, for fear of attracting Hyuga-chen's attention. Uzumaki is by no means stupid. He dares to tease Uchiha Madara because he knows that he is still useful. Uchiha Madara will not kill him. But in the face of an unfamiliar murderer who is stronger than Uchiha Madara, Uzumaki will never dare to jump around. If you agree or not, please give me a nice word. If you don't agree, the Rinnegan of Uzumaki Nagato will be mine. This time Hyuga-chen made a direct and blatant threat. Okay, I promise you, I will bring you Sanwei and Luwei. Osteoporosis will occur when you get older, so don't bite your kiba teeth so tightly, be careful of falling off. Hyuga-chen reminded, kindly. Humph. Uchiha Madara snorted coldly, turned around and left. He didn't want to see Hyuga-chen anymore, otherwise he was afraid that he couldn't help but go wild. After Uchiha Madara left, Tsunade and the others looked at Hyuga-chen and asked, do you really want to cooperate with Uchiha Madara to complete the Eye of the Moon project? It's just boring. Find something to do. Isn't this kind of thing that is against the whole world interesting? Hyuga-chen stretched and said. You're the only one who finds it funny. Tsunade spat. Actually, I also find it quite interesting. Kushina had an excited smile on her face, feeling very exciting. You too, alas. Chen, you don't really want to complete the Eye of the Moon plan. If people in this world are immersed in illusions, what's the point of this world? Makoto looked at Hyuga-chen with a little worry, really afraid that Hyuga-chen's mind would heat up and go to the Eye of the Moon plan. Don't worry, I'm not interested in the Moon's Eye project. I even know better than Uchiha Madara about the Moon's Eye project. Uchiha Madara is just a pawn. Hyuga-chen patted Makoto's shoulder and said. Uchiha Madara is a pawn. Tsunade couldn't believe it. Who could use Uchiha Madara as a pawn? Yes, Uchiha Madara said before that he saw the stone tablet left by the Six Paths Immortal before he decided to end the war with Infinite Tsukuyomi and achieve permanent peace. In fact, the stone tablet has been modified. Who modified it? Kushina asked curiously. Black Zetsu, the third son of Otsutsuki Kagaya. Who is Black Zetsu? Who is Otsutsuki Kagaya? Tsunade, Makoto, Kushina, and Konan all had question marks on their faces. Otsutsuki Kagaya has 3 sons, the Six Paths Sage Otsutsuki Hagoromo, Otsutsuki Hamura, and finally Black Zetsu. Six Paths Fairy. 0.1. Kushina asked with a look of astonishment, do Six Paths Fairy also have a mother? Can't the Six Paths Immortals have a mother? Hyuga-chen looked at Kushina strangely. Isn't Six Paths a god? How can there be a mother? To legend, the world was created by the Six Paths Sage, so in Tsunade's eyes, it was strange that the Six Paths Sage had a mother. You don't really think that the whole world was created by the Six Paths Immortals? Hyuga-chen also understood, and immediately looked at Tsunade and the others with the eyes of a fool. Otsutsuki Hagoromo can indeed create a small world, but he can't create an earth. If he could create the earth, he would have gone to the sky a long time ago. Chen, your eyes are so disgusting. Kushina looked at Hyuga-chen angrily, and the look in her eyes that looked like she was mentally retarded made her very unhappy.